Hello everybody, hello and welcome back to my spring virtual spiritual summit. We are on day 2. I am Sean McGill for those that don't know, and yes, I had to have a quick little costume change between the photograph that you see me post on Facebook and the turtleneck that I am wearing now. For those that don't know me, welcome back. Well, no, for those that don't know me, hi, hello, how are you? For those that do know me, welcome back. I'm Sean McGill, also known as Psychic in the City, and I am your host for this incredible weekend of my spring virtual spiritual summit. I am an international TV medium, 2 times international best-selling author of the books Tarot for Modern Times. My most recent book that I have wrote is The Modern Medium, 10 Practical Steps for Mediumship Development in Modern Times. I am also a spiritual mentor with having currently 2 internationally accredited training programs for those who are wishing to learn about the tarot and also develop their psychic and their mediumistic abilities. And I believe it is my purpose to help people live a more spirit-filled life in whatever way that looks like for you. That may be developing psychically and mediumistically, or that may just becoming aware of your own spiritual nature and the gifts and the abilities that lie within being a spiritual being, having a human experience. And that is what has really brought me to put my summit together. This is my second out of, I hope, many summits over the years, to really bring experts in their field. I've been working as a medium full-time for almost 12 years. I think, yes, almost 12 years. And in that period of time, I have met such fascinating people within the metaphysical umbrella, be it, mindset, hypnotherapy, regression, healers, astrologers, you name it. I have worked with a wide range of people or connected with a wide range of people, and we all share a common goal, which is to help people move beyond their limitations. And after spending years and years and years and years of doing private sittings, public demonstrations of mediumship, I always felt like there was something that I was just missing about my work. And don't get me wrong, I love demonstrating, I love teaching, I love reading the tarot and all of that type of stuff, but I really wanted to help connect with more people, to help really people on a wider range, a wider scale, to be able to get the word of spirit out there, to help people understand that no matter what is going on in your life, you have the tools, the talents, and the capacities within you in order to break free from all of these limitations. And be it that you come for a mediumship reading, or you get a Reiki healing session, or you book an astrologer or a hypnotherapist, you see a shaman, those tools are available within you to work from the inside out, to create change that is permanent, that is long lasting, that is going to give you those results time and time and time again. So that's what we looked at yesterday with some of my speakers. Today we are going to be doing exactly the same thing. I have a fantastic lineup of speakers today in no particular order. It's probably the order that they're going to go in. We have the wonderful Penny Dix joining very soon, also known as the Astro Coach. Then we have Maura Gilmore, who is a belief coding facilitator and an inner freedom coach. Then we'll be chatting with Trace Haskins, who is known all over the world as a technical and marketing whiz, who has really learned to apply marketing and business along with working with universal and spiritual laws. Then the incredible Dr. Tina Heath will be joining us once again as she dives deep into her niche and what she does as a hypnotherapist. So I am super excited for the guests that are going to be joining. And I really just want to let you guys know that this summit is all about you. It's not about me. I'm not really here talking about myself or, doing readings or anything like that. I want you guys to be able to get the best out of this. I want yous to listen to each speaker, make the most out of the replays. Make some notes, participate if speakers have active things for you to participate in, and really apply those things that resonate with you into your life so that you can live a happy, healthy, and wealthy life as well. I firmly believe that we are not here to struggle. Absolutely not, I don't believe that we're here to struggle, although sometimes things do get a little bit difficult and we can get caught in cycles. And that's why I find that people work in the spiritual field, the holistic field, the metaphysical field. We have access to these different modalities that really make our soul sing. That yes, we've trained in and maybe we've invested a lot of time and money and energy to learn more, to help ourselves and to help our clients. And these guys are showing up this weekend for you for free to help you as best as they possibly can. And I think that is just super duper, don't you? I think that is just phenomenal. So it's very dusty here today on Gozo, and I really should stop standing on the balcony in those gale force winds with all the dust of the wonderful limestone rolling about. So yesterday I got you all to screenshot me while I have my book in my hand. I still have to pick some people to win copies of the book, The Modern Medium. So if you're watching right here, right now, or even on the replay, take a photo of me holding the book. I should probably get the whole thing in, and take a photo, take a screenshot, and post it on your Facebook and tag me in it. The more you do that, the more I'm going to see. I don't always see things that are posted on my own wall, but go right ahead. For those of you that screenshotted me with the funny faces yesterday, here you go again. So hopefully you have got that there, and I will get some signed, I can't say signed copies, I will sign them if I'm in your country, and I will get some copies out to some people picked randomly. I think I'll maybe get my mum to go on and just pick a few people to send it to. So this is The Modern Medium, 10 Steps to Mediumship Development. And if you know me, you know that I probably do things a little bit backwards. Most people write books and then turn books into training programs, which I done with my first book, Tarot for Modern Times. I'm obsessed with the tarot. I think it's a wonderful tool for personal growth and for personal development. Not a lot of people see them that way, but I do. And then I developed my mentorship, my level 1, which is now what it's known as, my level 1 mediumship mentoring program. And I was asked time and time and time again, are you going to write that book on mediumship? And I always thought, oh God, no, definitely not. I don't think I have the words in my head to actually be able to write a book on mediumship. Even though I've made hundreds of PowerPoints for my mentorship and, I make notes on absolutely everything. And once I moved to Gozo a few months ago, I got a few more nudges going, write that book, and it'd be a really good book if you were to write it, because I'm very theory heavy when I teach. So I know that people have the most amazing references for moving forward in their journey. So the 10 steps are actually 10 different things to do, starting at spiritual development, looking at you and your energetic body, your physical body, your chakras, color, the psychic senses, guides, all this type of stuff. And each step is a chapter or a section that has different sort of theory, how it has helped me in my mediumship development, and then also exercises for you to apply, whether it be for your psychic or your mediumistic unfoldment. And yesterday I spoke about the exercise on spiritual development of forgiveness. And I would like to spend just a moment or two speaking about doing a gratitude exercise. And gratitude is something that I used to practice quite a lot, at least I thought I was practicing it, with being in the mindset community and doing a lot of personal development things. You hear, do your gratitude exercise and get up in the morning and write out a list of 10 things that you're grateful for. And I used to do that, but it was purely a mechanical exercise to me. There was no emotional attachment, there was no feeling that was going into it. It was more of a case of just get up and get this done and then move on to the next thing. And gratitude, when done correctly, is an absolute game changer for everybody, not just mediums. It's a game changer. That is just the way that it is. And how I do my gratitude exercises now is I get up out of bed, I'll do what I need to do for the first few moments, and then I'll sit quietly. I'll have my pen and my paper, which, if you've ever been in my home, you will notice that um, I have notepads everywhere, and I would take a moment and focus and breathe in and breathe out and relax just as much as I possibly can. And with that, I would then write something that I have done or that I'm going to do that I am grateful for, and really spend a moment connecting to that feeling, that excitement, that joy, that love, that gratitude of that experience, even if it's something that I'm currently working towards. And then I would do that a few times throughout my day in order to really just help things as best as I possibly can to shift from being in a negative into a positive. Sorry, we just got a message from Penny there saying she's having a few difficulties getting on, so I'm going to send her this. Um, Sorry about this, guys. It's always fun when you're working live, isn't it? Let me see. So, hmm. So I would really encourage people to begin to practice a gratitude exercise. Start out in the morning and the evening before you go to bed, because the thoughts that you think before going to sleep will play in your subconscious mind all night. And if you're going to bed to have that argument with someone in your head, your mind's going to be like that all night, and then you're going to wake up in a bit of a crappy mood. Whereas if you can think of something that you are grateful for, that you're properly grateful for before you fall off to sleep, then you're feeding your subconscious mind with beautiful thoughts that are going to attract more wonder and more things for you to be grateful for in your life. So I wanted to kick off the summit just by talking about that, as it is absolutely vital in my opinion. And just as we are getting sorted here, the wonderful Penny Dix is on her way to join the virtual spiritual summit. Hello, Penny.
Hello, are we live?
We are live, so please do not swear, or swear if you want.
Oh, um, my computer did one of those things where it says, hmm, I think I'll update you as you've just switched me on.
Yep.
And whilst I'm at it, I'll download all 3,000 emails you've not looked at yet.
Oh, there must be something in the stars, Penny.
Oh, God. Oh, Mercury is not even retrograde. It's direct now, although it is still in what's called its shadow. So that may be partly what the problem is. And
Hmm.
I'm just trying to find your charts here.
Fabulous.
And
So, Penny, thank you so much for joining us again. I know you were part of my first ever summit. I know we're technically island neighbours and good friends above that as well, but I know that you're. Tell everybody what it is that you do, Penny.
all right, okay. I'm just finding your chart because I may need it. Let me just, there we go. Right, great. Okay. Yeah. Hi. Let
Is
me,
the dust is getting to you as well? I
oh
stood
my
on the balcony
God.
for 5 minutes and
I've
haven't
just,
stopped
I've just been,
coughing.
I've just been recording some videos for my channel, so I'll explain who I am and what I do. So my name's Penny Dix. I'm an astrologer and a life coach. My background, though, was in psychotherapy, but I learnt astrology alongside as a kind of a hobby, and now combine astrology with psychotherapy because they actually really meld together well. They really marry each other well. And I have a YouTube channel, which is really doing very well. It's nearly 22,500 subscribers now,
Wow, fabulous.
which is amazing. And a thriving business, which I'm really excited about, which has been, super.
Mhm.
It takes time, as you know, Sean. It
Yep.
takes a lot of commitment and a lot of dedication and hard work to achieve one's goals.
Hmm.
And, I've been working consistently since 2020 when the pandemic hit. That was what kick-started me into making, growing my business.
Hmm.
And just for people out there who are watching, who might be interested, I was a late starter. So in fact, when I launched my business round about May 2020, I just turned 65
Hmm.
and I am now 68.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. I had a birthday this week. Yes.
Yes, happy birthday, happy belated birthday. And
Thank
that's the
you.
thing. Yes, these businesses, any business, I suppose, takes work. And, I've seen how quickly your YouTube channel went from, this amount of people to the 1,000, the 3,000, the 5, the 10,000. And that to some people looks like an overnight success. And a lot of people have said to me, God, you're so lucky. Like I had a waiting list of 2 years at one point, you
Mm,
know. I had my programs that I was doing, and people were like, that just sort of happened for you. And I'm like, No, the overnight lasted maybe about 6 years. Like that night was 6 years,
yeah.
and then it all sort of happened. So, it's great that it's all taken off and that you recognize the work that you've put in, I've put in,
Yeah.
all our friends have put
Yeah.
in. Um, so congratulations on the
Thank
booming
you.
business.
Yeah, because at some point it kind of becomes organic,
Hmm.
and you find that I've got used to it now. To start with, it was really the hard work was very hard work because I wasn't used to working that hard. Because somehow, if you're employed to do a job, or often when you're self-employed, you only put in the effort you need to put in.
Hmm.
But when you're doing something that you're absolutely passionate about, and I know that you are very passionate about the work you do, I have become a kind of boring workaholic.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of like, no, I can't come out this weekend. I'm doing videos. No, I'm recording this weekend.
Yep. 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 Yep.
And it's just how my life has kind of have developed. But thank God, because I sort of think my father, he died from Alzheimer's. So I think that's something that worries me, because I know these things can be
Hmm.
kind of hereditary. And I think as long as I keep doing what I'm doing and working with the astrology, which uses a lot of kind of mental concentration, then I'm keeping things like that at bay.
Yep. Absolutely. It
Yeah.
makes sense. I know last time you were here, you were explaining how people can use their birth chart, get the birth chart done to have a look at themselves and their personal life. And what I found interesting, what you brought up this time, was you could look at it for business.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that's one of my cats. They are little devils. They know I don't want to be disturbed. So what do they do?
Cats remember not that long ago they were worshipped like gods and they've never forgot it.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, yes, astrology can be used in basically everything and anything.
Hmm.
So if you have an important event coming up, one can look for the right kind of date for the best astrological energy. I had someone recently who wanted to know if the date she and her fiance were choosing for their wedding was good energy. And so we looked at that, and actually it turns out by chance they'd chosen a day that was really good for them to get married. So that's one way it can be used. It can also be used for financial astrology and business astrology. And there are some astrologers that specialize just in either or both financial or business astrology. They charge a fortune because they get employed by companies.
Yeah, very
And
interesting.
they and often human resources departments of companies will use a business astrologer to look at the charts of people they want to perhaps bring into the company, to see if the sort of psychology of the people they're going to bring in are going to work with the rest of the team. So it's a growing business, and all you have to do is Google business astrologers or financial astrologer, and you'll get a list of names that come up. I thought about it, but I don't think I know enough about the financial markets to be really, I'd have to do an awful lot more learning.
Yeah.
And also to do business astrology, I think one needs to have a little bit of an understanding of how business works. Certainly there's a very good astrologer that I can't remember his name, but he had come from the corporate world into astrology to work as an astrologer
Yeah.
for the corporate world. So yes, so I suggested, didn't I, that we look at the chart of when you arrived in Gozo and
Yeah.
set up your new business here.
Yeah, and then let's see what's going on. Only the good stuff though, Penny. Remember, I'm a man, I'm really fragile.
Oh, bless, bless. Well, let me just check, because you said you moved here on the 14th of October 2022, yeah?
Yes.
And do you have a time for that you would like to?
Um, the time that I actually moved into the apartment in Marsalforn was 7 in the evening.
Okay, so let's do that. 19.
Now, as you already know, I'm in Jara, so it was a short fleet there, but that's when I had the keys and signed the documents.
Okay, well then that's a really good point in time, because it's important, if one is looking at any chart, if you're looking at an event, or like this, we're looking at business astrology, we have to, it's about identifying the point in time. And so that's what we're doing with yours. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing in your chart and the event chart. And I'm going to look first of all at the event chart, because it really is actually super interesting.
Ooh.
Well, first of all, what I look at with a chart like this is the energies in terms of whether it's fixed, cardinal, or mutable. Now, fixed means literally what it says. It's fixed, it's stubborn, it's hardworking. Cardinal is very proactive. It goes, mutable means there's a lot of flexibility. So interestingly, you have an ascendant and descendant, which is fixed. Your ascendant is Taurus. Taurus is all about making money. So this is a good ascendant rising sign to have for you to be actually starting a new life and launching a new business or a new venue for your business, a new stage of your kind of business career. So with Taurus in that part of the chart, I would say already, without looking at the rest of the chart, yes, if you put in the hard work and you apply yourself, you can really, really achieve a lot, okay, with the way your business is now. And I would also say that, there is something about this decision to move here which is destined. There's a karmic element to it. And it's something about taking you into the future in a way that couldn't have happened if you'd stayed in Belfast.
Okay.
Now, the North Node, which is where I'm getting this information from, which is in Taurus in the first house, is conjunct Uranus. Uranus is the planet of shock, unexpected things, twists and turns of all sorts, surprise. It's very volatile. So there is something about you breaking in to, say, the area of life that you work in here and creating almost like an earthquake. Does that kind of make sense? Because it kind of fits, doesn't it?
Wouldn't be like me coming in with a bang, would it?
I thought we were keeping this clean.
It's a family show.
Let me tell you about your relationship sector in a minute. I'll tell you about it now. Your relationship sector in this is Scorpio. Now, Scorpio is very deep and dark and private and sexual.
Sign me up.
Am I allowed to talk about your sex life?
Sure, absolutely. Just if my mum's watching, please.
Keep it clean. What's really interesting is that you could well have already or be going to meet someone who is actually you're karmically linked to.
Okay.
From a past life. There is something about this person who they are a healer of some description. So either they're sort of in the same business, or they are it feels like Reiki or physio. There's something about healing that this person has around them. So it can just be also that they have a very healing soul, so that when you meet them, if you haven't already, it is a very healing process for you when you meet this person. So that's that part. Now, remember, you must give me boundaries because I will talk for hours.
Yes, don't worry, I'm quite aware of the time.
So let's look at your career in particular with this chart, because on what we call the midheaven, which is very much about your public image, it's how we see you on the public stage, in the public arena. You've got Capricorn. Capricorn is proactive. It absolutely goes for what it wants. And knowing you as I do, although I don't know you incredibly well, but I know you fairly well, I would say that is pretty accurate for you. I think you know what you want, you're hardworking, you just go for it. Now, what's interesting is that on this part of the chart, you have the planet Pluto. Pluto is the planet of transformation. It's also beginnings, endings, death, rebirth. Now, I think what is super exciting is that the work you do helps transform somebody's experience of life and death. So you're in the business of transformation.
Yeah.
You are that conduit. And it's in your 10th house of career. So that is what you're here to do. You will get to the top of the desired tree, if you like, that you're aiming for because of the placement of these planets. What you have to watch out for is your daily routine, that you don't allow yourself, because I've now shifted my focus to another part of the chart, which is Libra, which is where you don't just sit back and enjoy the sun and the cocktails.
Yeah.
Because that could be tempting here, especially when one first moves to Gozo.
Yes.
You know, we can get a bit carried away with that kind of sort of, so, you know, sun, sea and sex kind of thing could
sign me up.
And it actually feels that your working routine based on this chart will be very comfortable and aesthetically pleasing for you as well, that where you work, how you work will be very balanced and in harmony with what you want to convey.
Okay.
Okay.
Good move.
You've also got, let's look at the financial side, because as I said, you've got Taurus anyway on the midheaven, which is great. Oh, sorry, on the ascendant, which means that, you know, hard work makes money. And in the house of finance, you've actually got the sign of Gemini. Now, Gemini is mutable, so things can come and go. So it can be a little bit that you need to allow the flexibility, because I know, you know, with our kind of sort of self-employed kind of work, it goes like this. You get a whole run of clients and then suddenly nothing. And you think, oh. And of course, I also know that you know not to go into that energy, because it's not helpful, because the energy we have to stay in, of course, is the fact that it's the divine looking after us, giving us a little bit of a break before the next tsunami of clients come in or inquiries. And excuse me, you've got the moon here, conjunct Mars. Now, Mars is about action and energy. Oh dear, excuse me, it's this desert sound. It's been really bad today. I'm going to pause for a minute and just have a sip.
Yes, absolutely.
How are you experiencing this so far?
It's very, very interesting that, you know, that's just based on a date for moving, rather than, like, you know, my natal chart or my birth chart, or it's like everything just based on a move. It's so fascinating what you can do with these star charts, and I'm hoping that because other people that are at home watching, you know, you can see how much that you can explore with astrology.
Because, you know, it's so rich. You know, there's a method of astrology that's called horary astrology, where you can literally ask a question and you interpret the chart of that instant and it gives you the answer. I mean, for instance, do you have a question you would like to ask now?
Oh, you've put me on the spot.
Yes. Go on, ask a question and I'll tell you whether it's positive or negative, or how, or whether it's likely to happen or not.
I have a few business projects that I'm working on that I can't overly give you a lot of information on,
Okay.
because they're, you know, involving other people and things. But I have a few business projects over the next 3 months. I want to know financially, down to the euro and the cent penny.
Okay. Well, what I can tell you is the answer is not definitively clear.
Of course.
Right. It's too early to know if these things will come off. Okay. What's interesting is the 8th house of the chart, which represents other people's money or investment that you're investing, or they're investing. Anything that is joint to do with finance has a lot of energy in it. There's Taurus here. You've got the sun in Gemini. You've got Uranus here. And so it's going to be a little bit kind of like great opportunities, but fluctuations. So a lot, and then maybe not so much. So it feels a little bit sort of, as I say, up and down. However, your attitude to this is what makes the difference, because the rising sign is Libra. So you're saying, that's cool. I'm because your overriding knowing is that you will always be all right.
Yeah.
And that if something doesn't work out for you with some plan, it's because something better is waiting for you.
Interesting.
And I think that goes for everyone. It's really important not to get so or too fixed on an outcome of something we want to manifest, because it doesn't give the universe a chance to actually say, well, actually the universe is saying, I've got something a lot better for you. So it's sometimes about letting, allowing that flow to come in. And you've also got Venus, which can be about value and money, in Cancer in the 9th house. Now, this is about money coming from overseas. Most of your income is going to come from overseas.
Yeah.
It's not going to be local.
Yeah.
I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
It's going to be overseas income. And you may be based here, but it's not about the local market.
Yeah.
And, with the greatest of respect to Mortar and Gozo, it's not a great market for this industry.
Yeah.
Is that a nice way to put it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's so fascinating, Penny. And would you do a lot of sessions with clients that would like have particular questions? And is that something people can reach out to you about?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, people ask me for, sometimes they know their natal chart quite well, so they just want to look at particular situations in their life, whether it's work or business or launching a company, launching a website. And, if you work with the energies in the right way with, say, launching a website, you're more likely to get something good coming out of it.
Interesting.
And, for instance, we're just coming out of a Mercury retrograde. And so that is, when Mercury is retrograde, Mercury is the planet of communication. It's not the best time to launch anything new. But we've just had a new moon, which was on Friday in Taurus. Brilliant time. At the moment, we're still in that Taurian new moon energy. Fabulous time to launch something new or set one's intentions for what one wants to bring in, to manifest.
Fabulous. Good weekend for the summit then.
Absolutely, yes. Because Mercury is direct and we've just had a new moon. So it is a good time. However, there is today something called a fixed grand cross.
Yes.
And this is particularly challenging. So people might find, and I'll just do a little quick bit of advertising. I'm doing a live stream on YouTube tonight, 6 o'clock Central European, 5 o'clock British Summer Time, 12 o'clock Eastern New York time, and 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. I'm doing a live stream on YouTube, which is all about this fixed grand cross, which the energy is particularly challenging. So we may feel a bit hemmed in at the moment, a bit blocked.
Yeah.
Like things don't seem to.
That's why
How do you feel?
A bit blur today.
Tell me how you're feeling.
Yeah, I was just feeling in a real crappy mood, and I've no particular reason to be in one. I threw myself a wee bit of a pity party earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I was like, come on, get the music on and get up and dance. So, yeah.
Because what I'm just going to look at is how this fixed grand cross fits into your chart. Let's see what's being triggered in your chart. So let's do it this way. Right. So the energy is in your, okay, hang on, let me do it this way. Okay, so your trouble spots are, okay, it's the 11th house and the 5th house that is being kind of triggered. The 11th house is really what we're doing now. The external world, the community at large. It's all about internet connection. But what's happening is Mars is here, newly arrived in Leo. Mars is about action and energy. And it can also, its darker side is aggression and anger and frustration. But it's in opposition to Pluto, which is the planet of beginnings and endings and transformation, in Aquarius in the 5th house, which is about creativity. Now, what's happening is this Mars-Pluto energy is absolutely, it's like combustible. It's like this energy that we've got round the next few days, the last couple of days and around the next few days, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw an assassination attempt on a world leader. It's that kind of energy.
Okay.
It's,
Welcome to Gozo.
yeah, absolutely. So that's the kind of energy. So if you think about it with what you're doing here, you're feeling a little bit
Mm.
and a bit hemmed in. What you need to move into is the Pluto energy of transformation, of being the phoenix that rises from the ashes. And then you're kind of, working with the energy that's on offer. And the other edge of this fixed ground cross brings in the energy of the 8th house, which is other people's money, and also it's joint finance, and it's pulling in that energy, and the 2nd house, which is also about finance. So what it's doing to your chart is you've got the South Node, which is about karma, conjunct your Pluto. Now, your Pluto is this death, birth, rebirth stuff. It's also your mediumship stuff. And the South Node, karma. But I think this is about, I know what it is.
Oh.
You are going to be picking up a lot of energy today and over the next few days from spirit about stuff that is really quite dramatic. And I think you're going to pick it up here for some of the people that you're interviewing, and you have to sit on it.
Mm.
And you have to contain it, and
Mm.
how challenging that can be.
Mm. Okay. Makes sense. Awesome.
Okay.
Fabulous, fabulous. So if I want to go in two different directions here. I want to know, well, can you tell me when I'm getting married? But I also don't want to be selfish, and I want to say, what you're looking to see when I'm getting married, aren't you?
Yeah.
Your hands just went so quick there, Penny. Let's get this done.
Right. So are you going to get married? Well, let's have a look at the new moon, because diddly-dee. No, let's hang on. It's going to take me ages to find the new moon. I tell you what I'll do. I'll look at the full moon that we've got coming up on June the 4th.
Okay, so I'm getting
Okay.
married June 4th then.
No. Don't get excited.
You
Don't
know
get
me, you know how quick I
Yeah,
move,
I
Penny.
know. Actually, what I will do, which would be even better, is to just bring up the transits of now, because you're asking me the question now. So this will give us a better idea. So, okay, so there is opportunity, certainly. There is definitely opportunity. And as I said, it would be something that is karmic.
Hmm.
So it would be somebody that you probably feel as soon as you meet them, you've known them for thousands of years.
Okay.
There'll be a real connection. It's actually okay. So actually, of course, you've got Uranus conjunct your moon, because your moon's in Taurus, and something can happen out of the blue. Something will quite literally happen out of the blue. And you've just had a Jupiter return, which means Jupiter came back to the place it was at when you were born.
Hmm.
Can you remember what was going on 12 years ago?
I barely know how to tie my shoelaces, Penny. Never mind, remember 12 years ago. 12 years, is that when I got married?
Is it?
36, 24, yeah.
Well, you've got the same energy now. So there's your answer.
No, I was only joking. I don't want to know that, Penny. And we're cutting the interview short now. Okay, so there's the possibility for something soon. Great. We'll have a lovely little Gosseton wedding.
Yes.
That is so fascinating, Penny. And with the work that you've been doing, maybe even without having to look at your charts or pull up anything new, is there anything over the next month that you feel people should be aware of, or?
Well, we're probably, this first half of the year has probably been the toughest
Mhm.
astrologically. And with this energy around now and over the next week or so, again, a little bit kind of tense. And I think people have got to watch out in the short term. They don't overthink, they don't get caught into the negative. And because June, things will just ease off a bit. It's like the cosmos takes its foot off the accelerator.
Okay.
So that we can get our breath a bit, so that June, July, and August will just be a little bit smoother, plainer sailing, and away from some of this kind of tough, heavy energy that we've all been experiencing.
Ah, fabulous. So it's going to be a bit easier over the summer. Fantastic. That's great.
Definitely.
Absolutely great. I know. So it's always so fascinating chatting all things stars with you, Penny. I didn't realize you were going to go so in depth with mine, which I really appreciate. It's absolutely fabulous. And I know you have to jump on your other live streams very soon.
Yes, I've got an hour and a quarter it is on,
Oh,
so
fabulous.
another hour
So
and a quarter. Yeah.
great, fantastic. And how can people reach out to you, Penny? I know we've got your details on the speakers page, but what's your YouTube channel? It's Penny Dix.
It's Astrology with Penny Dix, Astro Coach.
Awesome.
Astrology with Penny. It's if you just put Penny Dix in, I should come up.
Yep.
And it's great. And subscribe, please. And also my website, which is just pennydix.com. Subscribe to the website, because I'm going to have private events that will be available via the website. There's a course that I'm working on, which is just a kind of beginner's guide to understanding your natal chart, which will be on sale for a very small fee via the website. It's not ready yet because Mercury's been retrograde, so I haven't been doing anything.
I was actually thinking the other day, and call me psychic if you want. I was like, I wonder when Penny's going to start teaching astrology. And then I was like, why am I even thinking that? You know, just a random thought that probably came when I was sitting having a glass of wine. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. It's the sort of, it's time and logistics, isn't it? You know, it's like so much to do.
Yes. Oh, there's a lot that goes into teaching. I know.
Yeah.
Fabulous, Penny. Thank you for being such another wonderful guest and giving away all my business to everybody that's watching, letting them know when I'm meeting someone, how my sex life is, you know, and how much money that I'm earning.
You're very welcome.
Yep. So much for me pretending I'm single and broke.
You're speechless, aren't you?
Yes, but you often leave me like that, Penny. Penny, thank you so much. And I know that we're going to connect on a professional level again really soon.
Yeah.
A few other things that I do want to reach out and chat to you about, like maybe being a guest on my podcast.
Sure.
So
and on a social level, we're gonna have a social soon, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. I think the start of next month we were trying to suss
yes, we mentioned we mentioned June, didn't we?
Yes. So we're just waiting on
our mutual friend across and
sorting out what date she's got available, and I'll just cancel everything. It's no big deal. So, the joys of being the boss. Penny, thank you so much. And I will get on and rewatch your live stream a little later. As you know, I'm going for a few hours this afternoon. Thank you.
I know you are. And let me just wish you well with the rest of your sort of event this weekend.
Thank you very much, Penny. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your time. And everybody, reach out to Penny and get your charts done and find out more information. Bye, Penny.
All right, then. Take care, Sean. Bye. See you soon.
Bye. Hi, absolutely fascinating, guys. It obviously went in a bit of a different direction than I thought it was going to go in, yet here we are anyway. And you can see that I'm not the only person on Gozo that is coughing away. Penny is a few villages over from me. She's got that little bit of a cough as well. But it's so fascinating to see that, you know, we can use astrology to look at absolutely anything, even when it coming to, you know, asking specific questions about things. That's so cool. You can really track when would be good times to start a business, start a family, get up and leave the country in the middle of the night like I done, which my mum still laughs at. She's like, you ran away, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, I did. And you can really check on your chart when is good times for doing that. So there is so many different tools at your disposal that you can use to help you progress through absolutely everything and anything that is going on with you. Now, joining me next is going to be Maura Gilmore. So, Maura, whenever you're ready, come on right ahead. I know you've been glued to the summit all weekend, like everybody else. So, astrology, how fascinating. And has everybody taken their pictures and posted them on Facebook? I hope you have. Getting loads of people complimenting my suit, which I'm absolutely swimming in because I've lost an awful lot of weight from I first bought this suit. And I am sitting here fully dressed in a suit. I do have odd socks on, but you aren't going to see that, so it's fine. It is what it is, I suppose. So how are you all enjoying the summit so far? I hope you are really being able to take something away from it and to apply it into your life and understand that, you know, there are so many different things and tools available for you to help you live the most awesome life that you possibly can. And that's what it's all about, guys. You know, whether it be, like I say, you go to that medium for that bit of, you know, clarity and support and closure, or you're someone like myself that loves going for tarot readings to see what's going to happen. You know, you can absolutely use all of these different tools to help progress moving forward. I'm still a little bit lost for words at a few things Benny had said. You know, so let's just see what is coming up next. Just getting a few text messages from people saying it's brilliant. I suppose those people that are watching are more than welcome to come to the wedding that I'm having June 4th. I actually wrote that down. But how fascinating, guys, huh? How absolutely interesting to look at those things. I'll need a little bit of water here. Because for the longest time, when I was getting into, you know, spirituality, spiritualism, holistic things, I really just stuck to, you know, what I knew and barely deviated from that. I wouldn't, you know, go and experience other different things because I was just caught with the blinkers on, which is very much a limiting belief, you know, just doing what I am doing and doing what I thought was the best thing, and then you find out that there's other people that are, you know, so as let's say me and the tarot and my obsession with the tarot, you know, we have people on the other side doing other things and that are just equally as obsessed as what I am, and the crossover that you can find with those things, absolutely. And you know, it's so fascinating for me to see the likes of all of my speakers that I have that are on. I know one of the things that we all have in common is that we are dedicated to continuous development, to continuous growth of ourselves and of our abilities, you know. So that's one thing I know with anyone that I work with, even myself, you know, I still learn, I still study. I don't think, you know, oh, I know it all and that's it. Some people call me a professional and an expert in what it is that I do, but I still study every single day. I still learn every single day to really provide the best that I possibly can to my clients. And that's one thing that I would really want to say to people is to learn, study and grow as best as you possibly can. Don't take on 100 different things at once. You know, if it's mediumship that you want to get into, you know, have your time for that dedicated study. Have your time to really learn and grow about it. If you want to get into healing, for example, then go right ahead and learn everything that you can about healing. For those that have maybe read the book Think and Grow Rich, for example, there is a chapter on that specialized knowledge, where spend the time and become the best at what it is that you can do. And the more that I've done that, the more that I've learned to be the best that I can. And not saying I'm the best, but the best version of me, the more that I'm able to provide for my clients and for other people in my life, be it people that are in my mentoring programs, attend my workshops, my summits, or even just people that I do mastermind with, being able to bring a certain level of expertise. It's worth its weight in gold, it really is. Where I used to be very affected by, shall I call it, shiny syndrome. I would get engrossed in one thing and then I would be away over here. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. And you just end up going round and round and round in circles. So be it astrology or tarot, angels, healing, mindset, really dive deep into those topics and give yourself that little bit of time every single day to really grow from that as best as you possibly can. Because a lot of people that I work with, especially students, or I have worked with other mediums as a hypnotherapist that wanted to increase their confidence in what they are doing. And what I always say is, once you increase your knowledge, your confidence will automatically increase anyway. So I don't know why I went on that rant, but I did anyway, and it's what you've got. So joining me now is a fantastic woman, if I do say so myself, Miss Maura
Hello.
Gilmore. Hi,
Hi.
Maura.
How are you?
I
Good to
am.
see
Look
you.
at all those new tattoos, Maura.
I know. I know. Look at that.
Maura, for those that don't know, Maura and I have known each other years. Was it last year we set ourselves a challenge to spend X amount of money on tattoos?
Yes, it was by the end of last year. Correct.
Whoever got there first was the winner. Obviously, we both won.
I think we, I think we did it. Yeah.
Maura, thank you so
Uh,
much for joining my spring virtual spiritual summit.
Thank you for inviting me. Happy to be here.
Great. Now, Maura, I know that you are a belief coding facilitator and
Correct.
an inner freedom coach.
Correct.
I'm going to pretend like I know exactly what that is, but for those at home that maybe don't know fully what that is, could you share a little bit about what you do?
Well, basically, I can help anybody, but I mainly help women over the age of 40 who want to just break free from the fears and the limiting beliefs that are stopping them from living the life that they dream about. We have all these limiting beliefs and that stop us from doing the things that we want to do. So I help them to just smash those to smithereens and just step into the person that they dream of becoming, that they are truly meant to be, in an easier way, and just to find freedom from fear of judgment, it's mostly fear of judgment, fear of anything, but just to feel free in themselves, whatever way that looks like for them. And I probably didn't even explain it either.
Not in the slightest, no, I'm only joking. Absolutely. So you work with this program that you provide with people?
Yeah, there's two elements to it. The belief coding itself. So I've been on a personal development journey, if you like, for 10 years. And before I really stumbled across this idea that, you had the power in your mind, I just thought some people were lucky and some people weren't. And yet you're born into the life and this is the way it was. And I happened to fall into the second camp of people who were unlucky and had bad things happen to me and there was no way out. And then different things happened to me, and I was going through a cancer experience, and somebody sent me a book, Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And that was the first time I ever discovered that you actually could. You had control over your mind. So that started me on a journey, and I was always looking for something. There's something. And I find belief coding, and for me, it was like, wow, this is what I have been looking for. And I signed up to be a facilitator because I wanted to help me. And then when I realized how powerful it was, so then I brought it out to the world. I'm the first facilitator in Northern Ireland. Yay!
Well done. What an achievement.
Thank you. I know.
That's superb. And I know your real thing at the minute is that inner freedom
It is.
work.
Yeah. The belief coding helps. I would work one-to-one with somebody and we can tap into exactly what is holding you back. Because, I mean, we know that you're programmed from a young age. You're like a sponge, and everything that's said around you, you take it all in and you believe it and you can internalize it. And then as an adult, you realize that maybe it's not quite true, but you have this belief that you've been programmed that way. And unless you know what that belief is, how can you release it? You don't know. So belief coding helps. I can work one-to-one with people and use your subconscious to tell me what the belief is. And then we clear the belief and move on. And it's very deep work. It's deep healing that can be done. And I love doing that type of work, but there's only so many hours in the day. And there's only so many people I can help that way. So that's what branched into the group coaching, which is the inner freedom coaching element to it, which is rewiring your brain in a more gentler, softer way. So what we do within it, and I'll share some techniques with all those people who are watching as well. It's about reframing your brain, rewiring your brain to start to look at life a little bit differently. And start to become the person that you dream of becoming. Because for me, I think like we have this future idea of who we want to become, but then we have this inner child that's afraid.
Yep.
And then we're in the middle, and most people I work with, they start working towards a goal and a dream and they're thinking, yeah, and we're going forward. And then their inner child is going, no, don't do that. That's scary. Step back. So it's like you go forward, then you procrastinate, you self-sabotage, you put things in your way, you make excuses, and you fall back. And you have this like back and forth, and you never truly get there. So the inner freedom coaching, I'm going through a program at the moment with a bunch of people, and it's about helping them daily activities. And the more you practice it, we step into your future self and bring your future self into your reality.
Oh, fabulous.
It is. It's wonderful.
It sounds like I'm raging. I'm not a woman over 40.
Well, I can help everyone. It just seems to be, I help people that are like me because I'm a woman over 40. So it's like, I'm helping me.
What would be some like daily practices that you would recommend people to develop? Obviously, you said you've been in that personal development arena for 10 years and a bit longer than myself. But, you know, I know that there's various different things that people teach, and some are like so far apart. And then you see the running theme with people also. It's like your gratitude and your, you know, which is what I started speaking about today. What would be like your favorite tool that you would say to someone to practice?
There's so many. Within the freedom coaching, the module 1 is called Project Positive.
Oh.
And within there we have 7 techniques that we practice. And now there's so many that you can use, and some of them I look at and I'm thinking, I try it, and it's like, well, that's not really for me, and that's fine because you're not going to resonate with everything.
Yep.
And you don't have to. It's all about doing the things that bring you joy, make you, you find easy. But there's one particular one that I love, and it's positive play. Okay. You're kind of thinking, what the hell is she talking about here? And I like doing things like a child, being childlike in everything, because I am a big kid anyway, still.
I would get on so well.
we all are at heart. So with the project or the positive play, it helps you to become aware of what goes on around you, because most conversation and most small talk is negative. When you become aware and tune in to the conversations that people have, people love to moan.
Oh my God, don't they?
Not people who are watching here, because we're obviously on this journey, maybe want to, but the majority of people that you're around, it's like, and some people just suck the life out of you. You're like, oh my God. So there's a little game that you can play in your own head, right? And it's positive play. So if you find yourself in a conversation with somebody who's a bit negative, you have to turn it into a positive. So for example, if somebody says something negative, like, you're in Malta, say that, Shannon. It's nice and warm. Say, oh my God, it's too warm.
Mm.
You go, oh no, isn't it great? I love feeling the sun on my skin.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you switch it round, or here in Ireland, it's usually cold. So if somebody says, oh, isn't that weather terrible? You go, do you know what? It actually feels quite fresh today.
Ah.
You know, and it's like a bit of ping pong. So if they bat a negative ball your direction, you have to bat a positive one back. And it's like a bit of ping pong back and forth. And you just play it until either the other person says, you're crazy, I'm going away, and walks off because they're like, whatever. In which case you can go, tick, I won. Or they smile or laugh or say something positive. And it's just a little game you can play in your own head. And the idea is you want to keep your vibration up here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to stay up here where everything's in your head, everything's lovely and happy, and you know, gratitude and all the rest of it, you know, because up here is where life's good and easy. We don't want to be struggling. So we want to do as much as you can to stay up here.
That sounds so much better than me on the phone to my friend saying, I'm bored listening to you now, stop moaning and hanging up. Sorry, Anya.
Well, I don't know. That's maybe the idea is, if you're up here and you meet someone who's down here, you don't want to lower your talk or your thoughts to meet them. You want to stay up here so they come up to meet you, because you feel so much better when you turn things around, or you affect somebody else in a positive way and they smile.
Yeah.
And that, you know, you smile back, and it just raises the whole energy of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see how that would really change the dynamics in so many relationships, you know, not romantic, platonic, business,
Everything.
you know. It would
Children.
Yes, I forgot about those.
I have to them on the Xbox somewhere out there. The thing is, as well, for people that aren't maybe used to this, and I know one of my clients said to me, you know, she says, I find this really tricky. There's somebody that in her life that is very negative. So I thought, well, don't make it difficult for yourself. When you're just starting out, practice it with people that maybe aren't so difficult.
Yes.
You know, just a general person in, you know, if you're out getting a coffee or in a shop and somebody says something like that, don't go straight in there with somebody who's, you know, really negative and it's a difficult situation, because you're only setting yourself up for failure. We want to do things easy.
Yeah.
Make things easy on ourselves.
Absolutely.
It's not a lot of things like that. And when you mentioned gratitude, Shan, I love gratitude. But you know, when things are going great, you can be grateful all day long.
Yeah.
And the birds are singing and life's wonderful and it's all hunky-dory and rosy in the garden, and that's fantastic. But can you be grateful when things are crap?
Getting better at it.
Yeah. That's really when the test is. And it's when you're in a situation that's really challenging. You know, if anybody watching now is in a situation or relationship or circumstance or something going on that is really challenging, try and find 3 positives from it.
Yeah.
Just try and find 3. And it starts to train your mind to actually look at it from a different perspective. And just try and see it. Well, what is this person teaching me? You know, I was in an abusive relationship before, and I found it very difficult to have gratitude for that.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got to the spot where, do you know what? I am grateful because it's taught me what I don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Fabulous. I
absolutely
remember
task.
Bob Proctor would have been telling a story about one of his friends that no matter what news you give him, good, bad, or indifferent, he would always say, that's good, and let's get started. Yeah, and would start with whatever it is.
Good. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. That's, even if it was something that, like, your business has lost $1 million, that's great. Let's get this sorted. Yep.
Yeah. So that's a challenge for people, but it's something, it comes with practice, and some days are easier than others.
Mhm.
Some days you get up and you just think gratitude out the window.
So the positive play will come in
But
much
every
better.
day, but you know what? If you get a day like that, just know that that's normal.
Mhm.
You know, all people who are on the personal development journey, you don't have every day amazing. I mean, we're all human and
Yeah.
life throws things at you all the time. And sometimes if you find yourself in a downward spiral, just recognize it. And what happens, what I've noticed is that you just get quicker at recognizing when you're in that spiral. It's not that you don't go there, you just get
Yeah.
quicker at
Yeah.
aha,
Hmm.
here I am. I
Yeah.
know, get back out of it.
And it does, it takes a lot of work. It really does. I noticed I was on a bit of a spiral during the week, just over something stupid as well. And I recognized, I was like, oh, I'm really pent up here. And I was like, then I observed my thoughts. I was
Right.
like, why am I letting this bother me? And then I started thinking, Mini Cooper, penthouse.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Do we dance?
yeah.
Sometimes, I love dancing. I would just put the music on and dance around the kitchen. All kids always see me. They're like, "Oh, there she goes again." You know.
Hmm.
So if you're
Yeah.
in that spiral, sometimes it's hard to think of a positive thought when you're in the moment. You can get so caught up in it. So just like stick on the radio and dance. You
Yeah.
know, or go outside, or just do something different that's going to totally shift your energy.
I 100% agree. Now, I know we were chatting and you said that you have some free gifts you want to
Do,
give, but
yeah,
before we
yeah,
get there, we'll just
yeah,
entice them in just a little bit. You also want to take people on a few moments of a, shall we say, guided
yeah,
experience,
yeah.
guided
Mhm.
meditation. You want me just to hand you right over and you can go ahead and.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, because a lot of what I do and what I have been practicing, and I learned a lot of this from Peggy McCall, actually, who does something very similar, and that's what started me doing this. And I now do it as part of the freedom coaching, and it's whereas you think of your future self, the person that you want to be, because quite often, if you think of who your future self, they're away the North Pole. You know, they're miles and miles away, and you think, oh, that's never going to happen. But they're closer than you think. So I do this exercise, and I can share it with people afterwards, a longer version. But I could do a shorter one now if
Perfect.
that fits you.
Absolutely.
Okay, right, we'll do that. Just a few minutes, just to give people a wee basic idea. Perfect. So if you just want to make yourself comfortable, and again, don't do this if you're driving or operating heavy machinery or looking after children. But if you just gently close down your eyes if you can, and just take a few deep breaths, put your hand on your heart and just take a deep breath in and breathe all the way out. Breathe all the way in and breathe all the way out. And as you start to allow yourself just to relax in your body and mind, try to get an image in your head of your future self in 12 months' time. As you breathe in, allow the picture to become clearer and brighter and stronger. Breathe in and allow the picture of yourself in 12 months' time to become so clear. See yourself smiling, so full of confidence. Look how happy you are. What do you look like? What are you wearing? How are you walking? Your head held high, full of confidence, full of self-belief. How proud of yourself for all that you have achieved in the last year. Who do you spend time with? What are your relationships like? How much money have you made? what do you do for your time and money? How are you feeling 12 months' time living this best life? And just ask your future self, if you have one piece of advice for me right now, what would it be? And just allow whatever comes into your head. And then just take a deep breath in and just hold that vision in. And then just come back to me.
Wow, that was super, Maura.
I do. One of the modules within the Freedom Coaching is a full, we do a lot of work on the future self, because the thing is, and what I'm going to ask everybody watching right now, that future version of you, how different are they from the version of you in reality right now?
What a question.
I would imagine they're probably vastly different. Maybe not so much for some people if you're used to this work, but that version of you in the future, like, how far away are they? And to bring that version of you closer, what steps can you take right now that future version of you would be? Like, does that future version of you, do they always wear clothes that fit properly? Do they wear matching socks? Do they wear nice earrings? Do you know what I mean? Do they wear matching underwear? Do you know what I mean? How do they behave? What steps can you take now in your life right now that's going to bring that future version of you closer? Because if you start to act and behave like your future self, well, then that future self has to come into reality.
The gap's getting shorter and shorter and
Because
shorter.
if you're not living that life now, then you're not taking the action that you need to live that life. So if you take different actions, then you're going to get different results. And if you always ask yourself, because I did this when I was in my health and fitness journey, I kept saying, with the healthiest and fittest version of me eat all this cake. No, they wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? So if you act and behave and think like the person of your future self, then the gap's going to get closer, and you have to get there.
Phenomenal.
It's amazing.
Simple yet highly effective exercise and few questions just to really get you up those gears.
It's totally, yeah. And there's so easy things that you can do at any time, and nobody even needs to know you're doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's one thing I want to share with everyone watching as well that I found was really phenomenal for me, which is it's part of the belief coding. And it's something that we call the human compass, and people may have heard it called different names, but your subconscious has all the answers. Your subconscious knows everything that you need to know. And that's how we use in belief coding to find out if there's a trapped emotion that's preventing you from doing something. We use the human compass to get to it. Like, for example, I had a client who was always skint. No matter how much money she earned, she always was skint. And it was brought her back to a memory as a small child when her mum used to say, you can't have it all, you know. And it was such an aha moment. And she kind of was like, oh my God, I remember my mum said that. And I remember my granny said it too. And she didn't want to hold on to money because she thought, well, if I have money, then my husband's going to leave me. She had this from a young age, you can't have it all, you can't have it all, you can't have it all. So she internally, even though in her head, she was like, I want to make loads of money. I want to be a millionaire. But in her subconscious was going, no, you don't, because you're going to lose love. So then we were able to heal it and get back to it. But I'm going to show you the human compass if we have time.
Fabulous.
If you can stand, you don't need to do it right now. Right, so the thing is, your body moves, your body tells you the answers. So you can use this if you've lost the keys, or if you want to ask anything, you ask any question. So when you stand, so I'm just going to demonstrate now, you can't see with this, but I'm going to say my name. Okay, so if I'm standing and I just relax, and then I say, My name is Maura. My name is Maura. My name is Maura. My name is Maura.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Jack. My name is Jack. My name is Jack. My name is Jack.
Okay.
So you can ask yourself any question like, I believe in myself.
Mm-hmm.
You can say anything.
Awesome.
I am creative. Whatever you want to believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I say, and if I think spiders, 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 I don't particularly like spiders. I move back and I don't like them. Go away.
Fantastic.
No, so it's just a simple way that you can, if you're at a crossroads and you have a decision to make and you don't know which way to turn, as long as a yes or no answer, you can ask, like, should I go here? Should I take this step? Should I, work with this person?
Ah,
Anything like that. Just have fun with it as well.
phenomenal. Thank you
You're
so
really
much for
oh,
sharing.
you could sit and talk about this. Should I get another tattoo?
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing all of those tips. I know they're going to be so valuable for
Oh, there's
people.
so many.
Now you did mention to me, nobody else, about the ebook that you
Oh,
want.
yes. So I have an ebook, Happiness Starts With You, because it does. And as I was saying, in the 10 years of me doing personal development, I was spent thousands going to this mentor and that mentor, thinking that somebody has to have the secret. Somebody's got to tell me that thing that's going to make sense. And then I eventually came to realize that it's all within. Everything's within. You have all the answers within. But from doing the belief coding work, it basically boils down to the fact that people don't believe in themselves, and they think they're not good enough and they're not worthy. But you are, and it's all within. So yeah, certainly you can follow me on Facebook. I have a wee Facebook group, a free group called Miracles and Magic.
Love it.
And it's all about manifesting and things like that. So you can join that, give me your email address or send me an email. We'll send the details out after this.
Yep.
And I can email that across to you. I do have a fuller version of the future self as well that I can send out to anybody who wants it. And it's probably about 20 minutes long, and it goes more in depth. And it really
Well, send
helps.
me that first of all. Never mind anyone.
Never mind anyone else. We've done all the work. But it just, they're just little things that will help people to just step into to their dreams.
I do have your Facebook group connected to the speakers page.
Perfect.
So
That's right. Yeah.
that's where they can get the free ebook, and there'll be other tips.
Yeah, there will be tips in there. And
Fabulous.
sure, just once they connect in with me, they could, contact me anytime, any questions or anything at all.
Laura, thank you so much. I know
Thank you
everyone's
so
going to
much.
find this so beneficial, and
I hope they do.
hopefully I will be doing much more work together.
Yeah.
I know we will. That's just me
We will.
planting the seeds now. So you can.
Go for it, Dad, really. The next time we'll do a live one over in Malta. We'll all just like, yay.
Ooh, sounds good. Sounds
Fabulous.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming along today, Maura, and enjoy
you.
the rest of your day.
I will do, Shan. Thank you. See you later. And you're awesome, by the way.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Just in case no one's told you today. Bye.
What a fantastic few tools and techniques to really help you just break free, to understand you as an amazing person. And to be totally honest, guys, it really doesn't stop there. From one mindset expert to another, let's just hop straight into my multiverse brother, Mr. Trace Haskins. Sorry guys, few little technical issues there. Give me just a second and I will get this back up and running. So I am super excited to be having Trace Haskins here, also known as the Possibility Dude. Trace, welcome to the Spring Virtual Spiritual Summit.
Thank you, Mr. Shamigo. I'm delighted to be here with you. You're an awesome individual to be in relations with here, and I'm excited to connect with your audience today and hopefully deliver a couple of tidbits that just might change somebody's life just a little bit today. Let's see.
Well, this is it, and I know you have the knowledge, the experience to really help people change. So I'm super excited because I know I tried to get you for my first summit and you were extremely busy. So as soon as this one came along, I'm so happy that you're able to participate. So Trace, for those out there that maybe don't know exactly what it is that you do, and I know you have a vast experience, could you share with everybody what it is that you do and what your business provides?
Yeah, so at the core, I am, right, just like the rest of us. So for like a little bit over 26 years now, I've primarily been in the realm of business development, marketing, tech, IT, that kind of stuff. Then on my journey of doing that kind of work, I stumbled upon personal development and spirituality. And so slowly I started to fall in love more and more with helping us really fall in love with and tune into who we are as spiritual beings. And so what I do in my business today is I'm a coach, and I help people really tap into their spiritual side and then figure out, what the purpose is of their life. Like, what are you trading your life for is a great question I love to ask. So when we turn to our purpose, right, then we can, whatever we're doing day to day when we're building a business or doing our job or even just in our personal relationships, whatever we might be doing in any given day, we can do that from the place of purpose. So I like to help people connect with that. So on the spiritual side of things, I like to help you tune into who you are as a spiritual being and live from this unlimited place, right? Not this restricted kind of, what we get put upon us as human conditionings, right? Kind of get beyond that, live from this spiritual place, create a really clear vision of what it is that you want for yourself, your life, and if you're an entrepreneur, your business. And then from there, on the business side of things, help you actually implement all the nitty-gritty stuff as well to, living this spiritual purpose and doing all the technical stuff too, like, creating marketing funnels and web pages and everything that comes with running a business and connecting with people and growing your audience, all that kind of stuff, right? So it's kind of like I'm taking what I started my career as, and now I've kind of remixed it all, and that's essentially, in a nutshell, what I do. So it's a big, broad range there, but that's in a nutshell what it is.
Yeah, and I like how you say you've remixed it all, because I've been in personal development. I'm sure people watching have been in personal development for maybe a number of years, or maybe they're quite brand new. And I found that the things that you provide were different from other things that I've experienced. Yes, you've helped me set goals. Yes, you've explained, things like visualization and getting into the feeling of it. But I suppose two of the main things that I've really noticed sets you apart from most other people that I've came in contact with is finding the purpose. Everything that I've been, whether it be books I've read, programs I've been involved in, it's like, set a big goal, and they're great, set a big goal, absolutely. But I find once you discover your purpose, it just cements it in and makes things a little bit more easier, and I know you take a lot of pride in helping people uncover and find that. And how can people, apart from coming to work with you, how can people discover what their purpose is?
Yeah, I'm going to answer to that question in a second. I just want to talk briefly about what you just mentioned. So why I think purpose is so important is I've experienced this myself. Shan, I think that you have as well. If you look at a lot of public figures, celebrities, people have created massive success, right? They climb these ladders and they get to the top of these mountains, and then they still feel empty up there. It's like, what the heck happened, right? There's a lot of different examples of that. So, when we set a goal, I think goals are super important, and we should always be setting and stretching, both to experience the fun, that the goal brings us when we achieve it, but also because of who we become in that process. That's what it's really about. But when we're doing that without a purpose behind us, then when we get to there, it's always going to be like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next one? This feeling of fulfillment, it never really is there, right? So when we approach things, when we decide, okay, what is our purpose? Why are we here on the planet? That really just allows us to feel fulfillment every step of the way, as well as when we get there. And so rather than trying to chase carrots or whatever, it's like the carrot's always with us. And we're just kind of taking this journey and having a really great time. And whatever big goals that we might be setting, if we get there, great. If we don't get there, great. It's all about the journey, and it's all about why we're doing it in the first place, right? So that's why I feel it's so important. It's about experiencing emotional freedom. And when you do life this way, when you do business this way, it's just a lot more fun, as you said, Chan. So in terms of actually doing that. I like to just kind of ask people the question. I'm going to ask you now, watching, right? What's worth trading your life for? Like, is there something in the world that you see you would love to see a change in or a shift in? So that's one way to kind of get to the root of your purpose. The other question is, what do you love doing on a daily basis? Is there a particular experience that you'd like to provide for other people, right? So you can ask yourself questions like that, either, what is a change in the world I'd like to see? Or what is there something that I really find great joy in, and how can I provide that to others? That can help you get to the deep root of your purpose. And I'm a firm believer there's no right or wrong purpose. There's no central shared purpose. I really believe that we either kind of stumble upon it by accident, or we decide on what it is. But at the end of the day, whether we're stumbling on it or we're actually on this quest to figure out what it is, at the end of the day, we're actually, whether we accidentally kind of find it or we intentionally go search for it and find it, we decide like, yes, this is it, right? So it's that point of decision that then starts to change the rest of our lives. So I want to just share that message that you can decide what your purpose is. It's not something that, is shared among us all, right? So I'll share mine if you don't mind, Chan.
Yeah.
My purpose that I've decided is to enjoy the rest of my life on this planet and help other people enjoy theirs, right? So that's pretty broad. And the cool thing about that being broad is the central feeling is all about joy, right? I have the feeling that the human experience doesn't always provide joy to a lot of people, because we get stuck in the muck of whatever environmental conditioning we've got, maybe whatever genetics we might have, health conditions, right? There's all this stuff that we can experience that kind of sucks joy out. But when we have the intention to live from joy and help others experience joy, that just, it makes me personally feel really great, because I feel like that's something that the world can really use more of. It's something that I felt like for a long time too, I could use more of. And operating from this place now just feels so good, right? So that's kind of how I got to deciding what my purpose is. And I like that it's broad, because that shapes what I can do in my business, different offers that I can come up with, how I can provide value to people. It shapes the way that I have relationships with people. It totally shapes the way that I live with my wife now, how we are parenting our children, how we're dealing with everybody in our life. It flavors all of that. So it can apply to all different areas. So again, just to reiterate, one of the main takeaways here, maybe write this down for taking notes. I can decide what my purpose is, right? I can decide, I can choose my purpose. Which is really fun. Is there anything you wanted to share from your world or your perspective on that, Mr. Shane?
Absolutely. I love how whenever I was going through the Prosperous on Purpose program, that it was you can claim what your purpose is, and that's something that I found very different, shall I say, from the spiritual community, especially with being a medium, a psychic, a tarot reader, all of this type of stuff. I would get a lot of people that would come to me for readings asking, I just need to know what my purpose is. And I'm going, I can't really tell you that, because I was always on that sort of thought of, well, I don't think your purpose is a fixed thing. I think it's something that you can name and claim. And then I came across you saying that, and I was like, thank God I'm not the only one.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, or at the beginning of the day, I guess if you really want to get deep, it's what spirit just is, right? Like any conditions, any labels, anything that we put on top of that is our human creation, right? So spirit just is. So there's the isness of it. So yeah, totally. Like you just, once you come into this physical form, you can start to put labels and definitions and goals and things on it. You decide what it is once you're here, and you can change it, right? Absolutely, yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like my purpose is to live a more spirit-filled life and encourage others to find their own spiritual potential. So that's my purpose. And everything that falls under that is things like this summit, for example, writing books, or teaching other people to develop their mediumistic abilities. That all falls under my purpose. And it's not just, I have to do this one thing. It's, like you say, it's open, it's great. And I've actually wrote, when you said decide, I wrote that down and underlined it as well, because I knew I wanted to touch on that point just a little bit more. Because it's awesome that we can decide who we be.
It is awesome, isn't it? It's like, there's so many people that I've worked with, and this used to be me as well, that think like, I have to, I've been in this career for so long, I guess I'm kind of doing this for the rest of my life, whether I like it or not, right? Or, I'm in this relationship, or, there's these ideas that we have about ourselves that either we've created or we've adapted and allowed to continue forward, right? We just kind of think that we're stuck sometimes, and this is who we have to be, but that's not how it really is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Really not at all.
Yeah, we can change at any given moment, and it's awesome. It really is, and it just makes life much more easier, especially whenever you're working in harmony with those universal laws and with those spiritual laws. And I know there's quite a lot of other people that are watching that are involved in the metaphysical field, the spiritual field, the holistic field. And we're going to talk about that big bad word in the spiritual field, money.
I was like, what's the big bad word? There are no bad words.
Exactly. And that's the thing, where I like the work that you do. Yes, there's marketing, there's, the business side of things, but everything that you do is in harmony with spiritual laws. It's to help people understand those laws, to, create the life that they want, to have the abundance that they want in harmony with these spiritual laws. And it's phenomenal that people are able to do that. And it's also, you see people that are tiptoeing around that money topic, well, I'm spiritual, I shouldn't, I'm spiritual, I can't. Like, of course you can.
Yeah, let's dig deep into the big bad word, shall we?
Yeah.
The money word.
Yeah.
What is money? Right, what is money? I'm asking you as the viewer right now, and I'll just give you 5 seconds of silence there. What is money? Right, go ahead and answer that question for yourself. And I'll give you my variation of what I believe it is. In about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So I believe that money is just energy, just like anything else. It's a tool, right? We've heard these phrases, money is the root of all evil, right? And then we've also heard the love of money is the root of all evil, right? And I think that second one is maybe a little bit truer, but it's not true either. Money is a tool, right? Just like planes are here as a tool, and cars are here as a tool, and knives are here as a tool, and we can use these things for good and we can use them for bad. So it's all about the intentions and the energy that we're tuning into. But money really is here for a couple different things, and I learned this from one of my mentors. It's here to make our life much more comfortable and pleasurable, more joyful, if you will, in alignment with my purpose statement, right? And it's also here to help you expand and reach people and help people beyond your physical presence.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you imagine $10 million showing up in your bank account tomorrow, or whatever number feels really great to you, like how incredible would that be? It's going to bring joy to you, like from your personal experience. You can do whatever the heck you want with that money. And if you so choose to take some of that money to help people in alignment with your purpose, your chosen purpose, then it's like it's only this beautiful thing. Like we live in this 3D physical world, and money is a tool that was created, right? It's just a creation, just like anything else, just like the cell phone or this mouse or The clothes we're wearing is all just a creation.
Yep.
You know, it was created in someone's imagination, and then society as a whole adopted it, right? Like, we don't need clothes. They're kind of convenient sometimes, but we could walk around without any, right? Like, it's a possibility, but at some point, right, we decided, you know, this is a good tool. We're going to use it, and globally everybody agreed, and that's why we walk around with clothes now, right?
Yeah.
So same thing with mobile technology, same thing with this, you know, beautiful thing called the internet, right? It's all creation. So money is just a creation. It's a tool for us to leverage, and it's up to us as every individual whether we choose it for good or for bad, right? So I would like you to really fall in love with the idea of money and prosperity, right? If you've had this idea that, you know, money is important, money is the root of all evil, I'll never have enough money, or there's not enough money to go around, or, you know, rich people are, put whatever label you want on them, right?
Yep.
We've all got one, right? Just, you know, I'd like to invite you to set those ideas aside and really look at what money is and what it can do and what it can provide. Because when you tune into the absolute incredible experiences here on earth that money can provide, it's going to relax you. It's going to elevate your vibration. There's one of the universal laws is called the law of non-resistance.
Mhm.
And so when you're resisting something, that also means that you're propelling it away, right? You're like pushing it away. So if you have ideas around money that are negative in nature, those ideas alone, just having them in your consciousness, it's pushing it away, right? So when you start to fall in love with the idea of money, and you fall in love with the idea of prosperity, you're able to tune into a higher frequency, and some of that resistance goes away, right? Like, you might be still resisting some other things in your life, but that's one thing that you're resisting less. And so more and more money and abundance will start to flow to you just by changing these ideas, these mental concepts that you hold about money, because these mental concepts that you hold, it's putting you on a certain vibration, either in harmony with it or not in harmony with it, right? So I invite you to fall in love with prosperity, fall in love with money, and realize all the good that it can do. And that, you know, you as the individual, right? Who cares? It doesn't really matter what other people are doing with their money. The only thing that really matters is, what are you doing? What are you choosing to do with your money? And if you decide to attract more and be in harmony with abundance and financial prosperity, just imagine all the beautiful things that you can do with that, right? So, you know, if you're somebody who's employed somewhere, or if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, and you've been having trouble, you know, raising your prices perhaps, or charging what you're really worth, I want to invite you also to throw the idea in the trash that you have to work hard and put in a lot of time to earn a lot of money, right?
Yep.
The traditional adopted model in the whole world is that you trade time and you earn some money for it, right? It's like, you give a little bit of time, you get a little bit of money. You give a lot of time, you get a little bit of money, typically, right? And that's a model. It's functional, it works. That's how society generally works. But as my mentor Bob Proctor used to always say, it's the worst way to earn money. Like, working for money, trading time for money is the worst way to earn money. You earn money, and you can earn it in larger amounts, more abundance, by providing value, right?
Yes.
So if we look at the span of 1 hour, right, there's certain activities we can do in that 1 hour that provides a tiny amount of value. There's certain things that we can do in that 1 hour that provides a lot of value. So we want to move away from this, you know, hourly rate, or this idea of earning money based upon time, because time isn't really a good representation of the value we're providing, right? Like, I can provide an incredible amount of value in an hour or two to someone, and I should earn whatever. Like, I like to say, you know, whatever you're charging someone, if you're, again, a business owner or whatever you might be doing, charge, you know, whatever you're providing, the value you're providing should be worth 10 times that, right? So
Yes.
that's just a good general rule. It doesn't have to be 10 times, but it's a good general rule. That way you can confidently charge whatever that number is, and you know that your client, your customer, or whoever you're, you know, providing the service for is getting a great value out of that. And another thing to remember as well, the return that they're getting isn't always just financial, right? Like, if we're providing financial related services, then yeah, maybe we want to see that they get an ROI, a return on investment of 10 times their, like, so that, let's say they give you $1, right? You want to see that they get 100 out, right? That's not the only form of compensation, right? There's a lot of services that we can provide that will give people emotional freedom,
Yeah.
that will give them improved health, right? There's all sorts of ways that we can help people. And when we come to the topic of value, it's all perceived, right? So the question is, what do I perceive my value to be that I'm providing? Not my value as an individual, right? Because our value as a spiritual individual, spiritual being having a human experience, it's unlimited.
Mhm.
But what's the value of whatever service I'm providing or whatever product I'm providing? We put a perception on that, and our client puts a perception on that. And we just want to align that, and then that will shape what our financial world sort of looks like. So I went down a little rant there. I'm not sure
Love
if I
it.
have to keep there. Sorry, Sean. I hope that's resonating with folks.
Yeah, absolutely. You know me, I love a good little rant. I love going off on one. I've done it plenty of times
Contagious,
myself.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would like to touch on that point just a little bit more on the value that is being provided, because I know with the likes of people that I teach, or even other like mediums or healers that would come to me and they'd be like, not charging, sometimes anything, because they have these crazy paradigms that, oh, I'm spiritual and I shouldn't charge, or at least I've heard the general public, not so much maybe, that the person doing the job, you shouldn't charge for that. It's a gift from God. And I tend to think, well, so is your eyesight, and, so is your ability to run Facebook ads. I think they're gifts from God. They're just different. So see, for those people that are maybe struggling in raising their prices or putting a price on doing their readings or their healing sessions or whatever it may be, how could they really dive into understand the value that they're giving? Whether it be that psychic return, that freedom, that bit of healing, that bit of closure that they're giving their clients, how could they,
Yeah, how can they put a number on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I'll be honest, it's hard to put a number on that because the numbers are all made up. Like whether we say that's worth 10 euros or pounds or dollars, or we say it's worth 100,000 euros or pounds or dollars, we make it up, right? So, like what you said a second ago, Shan, it's like the gifts that we have, that we provide. Everything in life is a gift. Like life itself is a gift.
Yeah.
All the different tools we have, whether it's our eyes or our phones or our ability to provide service, right? It's all a gift. And so we're literally creators, right? We came here to create. We came here to, do God's work, if that's a phrase that you align with, right? And what's God's work? It's creation, right? So we get to create, and we get to create experiences. And the interesting thing about the 3D world that we're living in here is we get to decide on everything. And there's no number that's too small or no number that's too big. The only thing that says it's too big or too small is our perception of it. So all we need to do is decide, like, how much would I really love to earn for this value, for this service? Mm-hmm. Like, make that decision. And again, decision means like you are basically creating like a laser focused tunnel or funnel, right? So you remove all other possibilities, you make that decision, this is what I want to earn for this. And then you kind of like feel really great about it, right? You have to feel really good about it. And when you do that, you're going to attract clients that are in alignment with that. And so it's not a question anymore of, well, I want so much, but they don't want to pay, because, that's just two different levels of consciousness. Prosperity, money, all these numbers, they're just different levels of consciousness. And, there's people out there who charge, just as an example, maybe, let's say $100 or 100 pounds or 100 euros for a coaching session, right? And there's other people that charge $100,000 for that. And they're different clients, right, that are being served. But the only thing that's really different about those clients and about those numbers is the perception. Yeah. So the cool thing is, when you realize it's all perception, it's all a creation of your own, that helps you make the decision, okay, this is what I want. And that will help you align with other people who are in line with that. Because this is another thing that I want to talk about today, is this idea that we're magnets, right? We're, as these physical beings here on planet Earth, we are magnets. And whatever we hold in our consciousness, we're broadcasting those thoughts and those feelings and that energy outwards, and we're attracting like energy back to us. So if we have what's called a double binding message going on in our system, where we're thinking, I want to charge 100,000, but I'm only feeling worthy of 100, or I think maybe the 100 is only the accepted number, right? That's a double binding message. And so you're going to, for whatever reason, the way that the universe works, it's going to give you the lower number, like by attraction, right?
Okay.
So it's when you're in harmony with the larger, like on an emotional level, you really accept the idea, you decide on the larger number. That's when you're going to be broadcasting that level out of energy and attracting that level back to you, right? So I don't know if that exactly answers your question, Shan, but it's basically, the numbers, it's all determined by our level of consciousness. And there's people out there in the world, right? There's, how many people on the planet right now? 8 billion or something like that, somewhere roughly around there. And everybody's got their own level of consciousness. And there's collective consciousness, so there's groups of people that share similar numbers. But at the end of the day, we're all independent. And so we just decide what we want, what feels good to us. And we rest in the knowing that there's different groups of people. And, let's say we're going, it's an extreme example, but let's say we're going from 100 to 100,000. We just rest in the knowing that, okay, there's 100 people out there, and there's 100,000 people out there. I want to attract the 100,000 ones. Because, again, value that my perceived value of what the value that I'm providing, the service that I'm providing, it's worth that. And their perceived value is that it's worth that as well, right? Like, you decide internally and they decide. It's just a question. It's basically a matchmaking game. Like, you make the decision on what it's worth, and then you just attract somebody who has that same belief. It's just a belief. That's all it is.
Matchmaking game. I love that.
I don't know where it came from. It came from.
That's it exactly. It really is. And I know you've told me on multiple occasions when I was part of your program, and I know a few others have said to me as well, double your price and then double it again. And I'm like, So what I'm really hearing right now, though, is, Trace, is I should start charging €100,000 for one reading.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
So I've done some work with you, right? You've done some things. I don't know if I should say for me, with me, through me. I don't know what label you want to put on that. But it's incredible. And I mean, the things that you've done, the transformations that you provided to me, it's worth anything that you've charged me. It's worth anything more than you've charged anybody. It's like, again, how do you put a value on that? Yeah. It's like, well, you just decide what number you want to put on it, and you own it, and that's it, right? So I would be a big proponent of you putting whatever numbers you want on, because it's worth it. Like, it really is. It's like the freedom and just a sense of well-being that I've gotten from working with you on a couple of different things, right? You know what I'm referring to. It's just incredible, and it's like, it's actually like the work that you do. To me, is very special.
Thank you.
It's very powerful. And it's mind-boggling to me, even with, my level of awareness, that you can pay somebody or ask somebody to help you with certain things, and somebody can help you with these things. It's like, wow, that's incredible. Yeah.
It's all about living that purpose, isn't it? And being able to help as many people as you can on the way. At least that's how I look at it, I do love that, matchmaking game, because if you decide, and I'll sort of talk about like reading prices just briefly, I know there's people charge £25, $35, $50, and then I know that there's other people that I know personally that charge like €350 for a 20-minute session, and they get the work and they get the work too, and it's all about it. Yeah.
So the question is, who's having a more fun time? What do you think?
Exactly. The one charging €350 for 20 minutes, which I might start doing more than that.
It's definitely worth it, man, because it's like the value that's gotten out of that 20 minutes or whatever the time is. It's really intangible, right? Yeah. And so whatever numbers we put on it here, it's just a game that we're playing. It's like playing Monopoly, like, right? It's like whatever. I wanted to say something else about that. Oh, so, there's these different clients out there, like some are willing to pay 35 and no more, or 25 and no more, or whatever. And some are very comfortable at the 350 level. Again, it's just a level of consciousness. And it also comes down to, people have this perception, again, guilty as well, myself, guilty as charged, that there's a limited supply. The supply of money. And so the people who don't want to pay more than 25 or 35, they're really in harmony with this belief that there's not enough supply. And that just goes down to, their level of consciousness around money and prosperity. And, if they think it's, evil or not, right?
Yeah.
Else, whatever the occupation is, right? Like, as an entrepreneur, I appreciate job positions and things like that. The problem that I have with those is they generally have a ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're looking to be, X role in a company, it usually has a ceiling, 50, 60, 70, 80,000, 90,000, whatever it might be, right? And so a lot of people are thinking from that limited supply because of the choices, the career choices that they've made. And in their defense, they haven't really chosen freely because they're not aware that there's unlimited possibilities available. So they've been taught that there's a limited supply. So their behavior says there's a limited supply. So it's just like this something that's been passed down to them. And we really can't blame them until they've gotten the awareness that, no, there isn't a limited supply. Because if they have the awareness and they choose to keep believing that, then that's on them. But if they don't have the awareness yet, right, that's why I love what we do, because it's like, it's all about raising awareness. And when you start to realize, like, man, there's unlimited possibilities, right? That's why I'm the possibility dude, because I love possibility.
Exactly.
It's like, you can create anything that you want, right? Like there's so many illusions that the people of the world live in, and they're just mental concepts that keep people low, right? Keep people down, and we can escape those.
Absolutely. I'm living proof of that. If you remember the month before I moved, I was having a bit of a bad time, but I was still determined that I was moving, and I earned the majority of the money that I needed, and I didn't see any clients face to face, yet I still earned what I needed to earn to get me here. And then this January was the best January that I have ever had in business, and I no longer work 7 days a week. I don't accommodate absolutely every single time that people request. I do certain things on certain days. I increase prices, I added new services, so on and so forth. And it wasn't really just a case of, oh, I'm going to double my prices and do half the work. It was not that at all. It was more getting in alignment with, well, this is what I want my life to look like.
Yeah.
And
then exactly. I love this. So let's just dissect that. It's like you're like, this is what I want my life to look like.
Yeah.
Made that decision, like, okay, I'm creating this. This isn't a maybe, or oh, it'd be nice someday. It's like, no, I'm going to create this now.
Yeah.
And you're aware that there might be a little discomfort, a little uncertainty in that transition period, right?
Yeah.
But you did it anyway because you made the decision that you were going to do it, and then took it a day at a time and allowed that to move into form.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you got more than one voice note from me where I'm going, Trace, I'm freaking out. Trace, what am I doing? Trace,
I love those. I love working with you and people like that when you're in that state, because all I can do is just give you little reminders of stuff you already know, right? That's all I did in that situation. I can remember some situations with like with that with you and with others. It's like, this is a good takeaway for all of you at home, right? When you're going to take an action that's uncomfortable, wait until you feel more at ease about it. So we talked about the law of non-resistance a little bit earlier. You want to just get yourself into this emotional state where you're really feeling aligned and connected with whatever the thing is or the goal is or the state of being is that you want. Feel good, and then book the flight. Feel good, and then do X, Y, Z, like whatever it is, right? It's like, when I really believe that everything that we do has an energetic signature on it. And that's why when I work with my clients, let's say I'm making marketing for someone or whatever, if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, it's like I won't do the work because I know that I don't want that energetic imprint to be on the work that I'm doing.
Yes.
So that's the same thing for anything that you're doing when you're going through a transition phase. You're doing actions that you're not typically accustomed to doing, they might be a little uncomfortable. So, you know, you're going to feel this discomfort off and on. It's a natural part of the growth. In fact, it's a good sign. It means you're growing. But like, if you're doing something that you deem as an important action, just before you do it, do whatever you need to do to get yourself into a really great vibration, a great state beforehand. Do a little meditation, go for a walk or a jog, or do a little visualization, whatever it is for you. There's lots of different tools that you can reach out of the tool bag and pull out. But do that, feel really good, and then do the thing, because that energetic signature is going to be on whatever that action was, and that's going to continue to be a magnet, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely. I agree 100% with that. You know, freak out all you want, but see, once you're booking the flight, see, once you're putting your business out there, see, make sure you're in a good vibe, because clients will pick up on that, or at least potential clients will pick up on, shall we say, the nervousness or the neediness or the lack or the scarcity from the Facebook posts. You know, where it's the scattering, I need clients. Well, whether they're psychic or not, they're going to feel that from the post, you know, and
yeah, this is a cool thing. So this is a bit of sales wisdom. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're selling your services or products or whatever, or if you're an actual salesperson, what that's all you do all day long, right? When you're in a conversation with someone, and in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I really need the money, I really need to sell, I really need to say yes, right? There's verbal communication going out to them. There's visual communication. Like, you might be saying all the right things. You might be looking the right way, right? If it's posts, right, they might be beautiful. But the energy that on a subconscious level, on a spiritual level, that's being broadcasted out is the lack mentality rather than the abundance. Yeah. And so, like you said, Jan, they are going to feel that. And even if they can't put their finger on it, it's going to be like, something doesn't feel right. And then they're not going to move forward, right? And so it's important to really provide service, like even a sales consultation, right? It's actually you providing service, because if you're a true salesperson who's doing things with integrity and love, you're having a sales conversation because you want to help identify how can you help improve their life or their business or whatever the service you're providing is, right? So when you're always coming from this place of providing service, then it just becomes easier. And then there's not this double binding message of, oh, I really need the money, but I hope they say yes, right? It's like that goes away because your focus and attention and your energetic vibration is completely on serving. And it really makes a big difference.
It totally does. It really does. And you are a business and marketing wizard, aren't you? You know, you really are. And
that's what people talk.
Yeah, well, I'll confirm that, because obviously what I say is gospel. So,
well, you've got the direct line, like even more than
exactly. And I also know that you love working with people like myself that, you know, have an idea, or maybe even they don't. They have a concept, but also when I first came to work with you, I had a lot of those crazy spiritual beliefs, like, you know, I shouldn't charge, but all that type of stuff. And I know you really, like, lovingly whipped my ass with all that and was like, this is how you market, this is how you put yourself out there. And I think you still are taking people on your marketing stuff that we're doing at the moment.
Yeah, so there's a very... I know I just said earlier there's an unlimited supply, but of my time, there's not an unlimited supply. So for, like, if people are interested in having me do like full-on done-for-you marketing stuff where I'm writing copy and creating web pages, all that kind of stuff, I have limited spaces available right now. So I think like for the next 4 months or something, there's one spot left.
Okay.
But I also, beyond that, because that requires a lot of my physical time, right? Yeah. I also have a group coaching, which might be what you were referring to, Shannon. Yeah. But the group coaching is basically, we meet once a week, every week in a group environment. You have marketing, business, tech questions, show up, I'll answer them. And so that's essentially what that is. And that is open. Yes, we're accepting new members right now.
Awesome. Obviously, people can reach out to you via the emails that I'm going to torture everybody with, and on the speakers page, they can go to your website or your Facebook.
Lovingly torture.
No, I'm going to annoy everybody. They already know this about me, so of course it'll be with love, absolutely. And it's just for a lot of people out there that are wanting to take their business to a next level and do it in harmony with, you know, those universal and spiritual laws. Trace Haskins is your guy for that, you know. I've more than doubled my income, not quite tripled it yet, but that, you know, and I've learned a lot about marketing, building funnels, websites, design work, you know, things that I just couldn't wrap my head around, and it was literally like having access to, like, you're like Google on steroids, you really are. You know?
Spiritual connection Google, right? With the filters of marketing and tech.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I hope you're bringing Prosperous on Purpose back soon as well, but I'm just throwing that out there. No need to answer.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So for the mastermind, I don't have dates in mind quite yet, but we will start that up again soon. So for those of you out there who are like, what is Shan talking about? I run a program called Prosperous on Purpose. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love seeing people like Shan, like, you know, hearing like doubled, almost getting close to triple the income, right? Other people have 10x their income. Just living life from this purpose, like discovering whatever you want to label it and put choosing what, you know, how do you want to trade the rest of your life on earth, right? Deciding on that and then living from that point and then building everything around that. That's what Prosperous on Purpose is about. So I did separate the program from the mastermind. So you can enroll in the Prosperous on Purpose program anytime. The first step is you can actually go to prosperousonpurpose.com and join the free Facebook community. And then in there, you get access to my free book, and then you'll see where you can kind of join the program if you want to. And then when the mastermind is open again, I'll make announcements in there when that's open. So if anybody's interested in that, prosperousonpurpose.com, you can check it out.
Prosperousonpurpose.com. I have the program. I've annoyed everybody in our mastermind with the amount of times I would be out listening to the audio lessons and just completely changing my life in 9 weeks. Can you believe that, Trace? 9 weeks.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's so awesome to watch you then, and it's awesome to watch you now, like what you created here with the Virtual Spiritual Summit. It's really inspiring and incredible, and I love, like, after the last one, all the feedback that you got on the presentations and everything is really, really, really cool. So thank you for being on this ride and showing up and serving people in this way. It's really beautiful what you do. And again, from a pricing perspective, it's like, I don't know how you put a price on what you do. It's just, you just make it up, right? So, so everybody out there, if you see that he's making up higher prices, just know that it's worth it. Like it's worth more than anything that you would ever decide to charge. Right? Like even if you put a 6-figure price tag on something, it's up to you how you use it, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll see there, didn't I?
Absolutely, and you know, I'm comfortable with my prices where they're at the minute, which probably means I should put them up. But this is for people that are, you know, also maybe at that perceived lower mark. Just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. Who cares what other people think? Who cares what other people are going to do? They're not walking your purpose. You know, they're not living your life. So go for it. Look at the service that you're providing, and you know, there's always going to be people out there that will help you bring your business to the next stage, such as Trace. You know.
Yeah, remember, it's all about resonance, right? It's like there's people who are going to resonate, there's people who aren't, and you want to focus on the ones who are.
Yeah.
You know, like my heart wants to help the whole freaking world, and I hope that I am in some way. But some people are ready for messages, and you know, they're just some aren't, right? And so everybody's on their own timeline, and so we help the people who are ready now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Put your prices up, guys. Come and work with Trace. Absolutely. You know, Trace, thank you so much for your time today. It's always an absolute pleasure speaking, and hopefully we'll have you back at another summit. Obviously, I'm asking that so you can't back out in front of all these people.
I would love to. If everybody wants me back, I will gladly come back. Thank you for the opportunity to be here to serve and just for being in your presence, Your Highness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I'm going to hand it back over to Shan in the future, that is live hosting the summit. See you then. Bye.
Thank you, Shan. See you later, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shan from the past. This is Shan from the present or the future, or maybe this is technically Shan from the past, if you're catching up on the replay. What amazing, fantastic segments. And I've really, really overpacked Sunday with just speaker after speaker after speaker. As you know, I done a fair amount of talking yesterday in between each person, and I thought let's just drive it home as hard as we possibly can tonight. So there we have how to connect with your future self, how to become emotionally free, and how to clear with Maura Gilmore, and then with Trace, how to, you know, get in alignment with the money that you want to be earning, with the life that you want to be living. There is so many different tools, techniques that are there for us to do. Some may take a little investment of time and energy and the repetition of certain ideas. But everything that you want is available for you. And as that saying goes, everything I want for me, I want for you guys too. And we're just going to continue on the momentum of my Spring Virtual Spiritual Summit. And we are going to be bringing in our next guest speaker. I don't know if you have heard of Dr. Tina Heath before. Maybe you are just brand new to her. I know I've never had any experience with you, Tina.
It's been one of those days.
Tina, thank you so much for joining along today again with the summit. Maybe you would want to give a different introduction than you gave yesterday, since we're talking about different topics.
We are talking about a different topic. Good afternoon. I must say you look absolutely lovely in your blue suit. I didn't get a chance to comment on your photo earlier. You look absolutely great. Really suits you, that.
Thank you. It's really, I'm swimming in it at the minute, Tina. Now this fitted me perfectly when I bought it last year, and now it's like, it's just baggy. So just as well I'm sitting down.
Well, you did recently release, was it 18 kilograms in just a few weeks?
Yep.
Having plateaued for a while.
Yep.
Yeah. So good. Well, you can always buy a new suit.
Well, this is it exactly.
Or have it altered. Have it altered.
Yeah. So, what are we chatting about today, Tina?
Well, I'm here to talk today about the way the mind affects the physical body in terms of weight loss. But can I just say a quick thank you to everyone who wrote to me about the past life regression I presented yesterday? Because honestly, I have been overwhelmed by how many people have written to me about their experience and telling me how helpful it was. You know, that was just a taster of the real deal, if you like. So I'm absolutely blown away really by the feedback and just the kindness, you know, people writing in to say thank you and it was a great experience, and this happened and that happened and I saw myself and these were the dates, and it's just really, really exciting. I haven't yet had a chance to reply to everyone, but I will do. So thank you everyone. So yeah, Shan, I'm here today to talk about Slim for Life, or the philosophy of Slim for Life, and also to, at the end of my talk, introduce our upcoming collaboration.
Fabulous, fabulous. So for the people out there that maybe do not know, and what is Slim for Life?
So Slim for Life, I'm Dr. Tina Heath. I'm a transpersonal psychologist and hypnotherapist, and for 30 odd years I have used hypnosis in therapy, both for myself. I also lost a substantial amount of weight, 10 stones actually. I call it my past life now. It's been so long ago. And, you know, I've maintained a very steady weight since then. But Slim for Life is a life-changing philosophy that really kicks the butt of all diets. It is just a few simple changes, listening to hypnosis daily, about 30 minutes, and just changing a few habits, changing a few behaviors, not cutting out anything, no foods are taboo. In fact, I say serve yourself a half portion of anything you fancy, even if it's chocolate, even if it's a cake, bread, whatever. There's no need to cut out anything. It's about taking things in moderation. But the real deal with Slim for Life is that it works with your mindset. So it helps you to tune into the foods that are going to support weight release and away from those which aren't. And so much more. You know, if anybody wants to look it up, they can look up slimforlife.co.uk. After I've done my little talk, the program that we're going to be presenting together, which starts on, is it the 29th?
Yes, let me just double check.
Is devoted to hypnotic gastric band. And I'd really like to talk about that a little bit at the end if there's time.
Absolutely.
Because hypnotic gastric band gets some very good press and it gets some poor press. And I want to talk about the reasons behind that, if that's okay.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. I suppose maybe a question that would be on everybody's lips would be, how can hypnosis help with weight loss?
Because it works on your mindset, it works on everything about your body. It works on how you see yourself. It works on how you see what's on your plate. It helps to break emotional connections with food. You know, I have talked in the past, and you have too, about having a sugar addiction. But the sugar was connected with love. You know, for me, my grandma used to serve sugar on everything, even sugar sandwiches. And when I think about it now, you know, I can feel the grit from the sugar in my teeth, even talking about that now, even though I haven't had one for a very long time. But sugar for me was connected with my grandma's love, and I know it was for you as well. So this is just one area that hypnosis can help with weight loss, but it helps you to have less desire, as I said earlier, for foods that are no good for you or cause weight gain, and more desire for the foods that will release weight and heal your body. It helps you to stop overeating and become satisfied with small portions. It breaks habits, could be a cup of tea and a biscuit, could be a glass of wine and a packet of crisps, could be dinner and dessert. It doesn't really matter what the habits are. Hypnosis can help to break it. Because hypnosis works directly with the subconscious part of the mind, and the subconscious, if you like, runs the physical body. Hypnosis can help with boosting metabolism so that you're eating less, but you're actually burning what you've already stored faster. With Slim for Life, I also have a visualization technique. That's not until step 5, but the hypnosis takes your mind on a journey where you actually see yourself in a smaller body. You see yourself at your target weight. And once your subconscious has seen you there, it can't tell the difference between what's imagined and what's real, and therefore will adjust your eating, your drinking, your metabolism, your behavior, the way you see yourself. But during the visualization technique, people tell me, oh, I saw myself in a little denim skirt, or some will say, I saw myself in a little black dress and heels. I never wear heels because my legs are too fat. Or I saw myself in a bikini. Crikey, I've never worn a swimming costume in my life. But there they are in the visualization in the red bikini. And that's because the subconscious mind is supporting you all the way through that journey. Of course, I include part of the hypnotic gastric band in Slim for Life. We have release negative emotions and build self-esteem. And again, that's all of the tracks are very powerful hypnosis. Releasing all the lower emotions that cause you to eat, you know, maybe stress, frustration, anger. You have a stressful day at work and you come in and you reach for the cookies, you know. It increases motivation. It builds body confidence, and ultimately helps you to enjoy food more. People tell me all the time, enjoying their food more than they ever thought possible, because, you know, when you're overweight, Many people are ashamed of eating, so they just kind of dum 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 and it's gone. Or, you know, they're sidetracked and watching the television while they're eating. So they're eating at the speed of what's going on the TV rather than noticing what they're eating and how they're eating. So it slows down your eating. It helps you to chew your food more thoroughly so that the food spends less time in your stomach and is more easily digestible, therefore having less time to store fat. You know, I could go on about this for hours, Sean. It's something I'm very, very passionate about
I know.
because it works. You know, diets don't work for 95% of people. People say, oh, I lost 6 stones with something. And I'll say, brilliant. Why are you here then? Well, because I put that back on and another 2. Yeah, because the diet didn't work. Deprivation doesn't sit right with human behavior. We're wired for abundance in all things. We're wired for abundance in food, luxury, you know, everything, clothes, designer. We're wired for designer. We're wired for greed, if you like.
Yeah.
And here's another thing that hypnosis can help with, you know, just being satisfied and wanting your goal more than you want what's on your plate.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, people don't know that I'm a clinical hypnotherapist myself and we work together quite a lot. And you know, one thing that like I would say with my clients a lot is you got to remember we're technically cavemen. We're just
Yeah.
living in another world where we have the chocolate bars, the crisps, the cakes readily available. But on
Yeah.
the inside, we're still that caveman, hunter gatherer, and our minds and bodies don't necessarily know when the next meal is coming, even though the next meal is 2 times or 3 times more than what we should be eating. And then you add that over weeks and months, and you know, you end up quite
Yeah.
overweight.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. I should also mention though, some people experience a weight gain and they say, oh, I don't eat very much. So that could be another side of the program, because the program helps you to eat more of what you need to support your body and maybe heal your body, maybe have fibromyalgia or you know, some health concern. Somebody just wrote to me just now and I said, oh, you need to eat more leafy greens. But some people do eat some people do eat tiny portions or eat very little or fast all day and then binge in the evening. And that is another habit that needs to be broken to achieve a slim, healthy body for life. Because during that period where you're not eating, it's like running your car on empty.
Mhm.
Only you're storing fat. You know, people say, oh, well, I don't eat anything until about 6 in the evening, but then I can't get enough.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't work. So you have to pace yourself, start in the morning, start for breakfast. The program also, hypnosis, you know, hypnosis can cause you to crave anything you want and not what you don't want. That is the power of hypnosis working directly with the subconscious part of the mind. But the Slim for Life program also causes you to crave drinking water. I recommend a large glass of water before anything in the morning. This kickstarts your metabolism. I recommend getting it up to a pint. Serve yourself half portions of anything you fancy. If you're still hungry, go back for more. But we all have this thing from childhood, you know, clear your plate. The starving children in Africa. Not you, because you're too young, but many of us were brought up with that. You know, there are people in the world starving, so you finish what's on your plate.
Yeah.
And I was brought up with bread and butter on the side of the plate, with everything. You know, a clear signal that the meal itself isn't going to be enough. Even a roast dinner, we'd have bread and butter on the side of the plate. Can you imagine it? Nowadays, it's
Yeah.
a different way of eating, but So you asked, what hypnosis can help with. That is just in a few pointers
Yeah.
in the realms of releasing excess weight.
Yeah, it really is. And like we've worked together over the past year, give or take a little bit. And the more that I'm, studying hypnotherapy and working with yourself and getting your feedback on things that I'm doing and just learning more in general, like I have to say, the more I listen to your audios, the more that I learn, the more I think this woman is an absolute genius. Like certain things, maybe my first time listening to some of your audios, I'm like, oh right, okay. And then there was things I've been listening to over the past few days, and I'm recognizing things that are being said because of the study that I've done, you taking me under your wing and pointing me in the right direction with a few things. And I'm like, this one audio, let's say step one, for example, I'm like, that works with so many other things in my life than just
Yeah.
wanting to eat less food.
Yeah, but this is. But thank you for your compliment. I use a lot of Ericksonian techniques, Dr. Milton Erickson. I've studied a lot of the older people, even Hippocrates. 500, 400 BC. But I use a lot of metaphor, and using metaphoric language means the subconscious can't kick it out. And so it's important to recognize that being overweight is not just about what you eat or don't eat.
Yeah,
It's about what you think about what you eat or don't eat.
yeah, absolutely.
And your emotions, the emotional roller coaster. Many people tell me, oh, I have IBS. Can you just, I'm allergic to wheat or something or other they'll come up with. You may or may not be allergic to wheat, but IBS is present because you're anxious, you're stressed, you're worried, you're angry. It's that emotional, the lower emotion that cause the issue. And, some people are very careful about what they eat because they have IBS, or don't eat certain things if they're going out tomorrow, just in case. Well, that is in itself another anxiety.
Yeah, interesting, very, very interesting. I know, God, a good while ago, your words to me were, I'm just going to say, your life's awful dramatic. I'm going to fix that for you. And you and you done just a wee 30-minute session on whatever it was on apparently my dramatic life. Who would have thought it? On my dramatic mindset. And the next day I like got on the phone to you and was like, my IBS has disappeared.
Yeah. Drama is great. A dramatic life is great. You're having, but if elements of it are holding you back from whatever it is you want to achieve in your life, then it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not. And then I'm 35 years old. I've let this ruin my late 20s, early 30s, and it's away. Fabulous, it really is amazing the power of the mind. And I know that you've put together a short little session that you would like to take people through. Are you ready to rock
Yeah.
with that joy, or is there
How much time have I got?
as long as you want? We have nothing to do for another 90 minutes, so
Oh, really?
well,
Really?
well, that's our next group session that we have to be on.
So I could do. So I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about the way our mind affects our physical bodies, but we've kind of done that. Shall I just head into my trance? I think a lot of people watching today will have experienced my trance yesterday. So, I wonder if I was going to talk about where we carry weight, the face, the
Well,
arms,
it would be
the belly,
interesting to share that bit of information if you want to go ahead.
stomach, and then I was going to do a little trance for people.
Yeah.
Shall I just kind of jump halfway in on my presentation and then do the trance?
Well, this is it. You are the last speaker today, so I'm sure other people won't mind if we run over time. I know we're supposed to be ending in around 32 minutes, but if we go over, it's only value for other people. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and chat about.
Yeah, okay. Okay, great. Okay, great. Over to me then. Is it over to me now? I can't see you because I'm looking at my notes.
Yes,
So,
over to you.
thank you, thank you, thank you. So, thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you for loving yourself enough to join me today, but also to invest time in yourself this weekend and be willing to make a few changes for yourself to improve your life. Now, Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'm a big fan of his work. Maybe you know who he is. He teaches us that thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body, and that we can reprogram our brains to be a map of the future instead of a record of the past. And that's something I'd really like you to think about as we kind of head into our trance in a minute. So let me ask you, I said just a moment ago that, everything that we think expresses itself through our body. And it's by changing those thoughts that we can actually change our physical body. This is how hypnosis works. So let me ask you, where do you carry the majority of your excess weight? And maybe you want to write to me about this afterwards, because, I'm still a student of my field. I've been here for 35 years studying human behavior, helping people to go in a different direction, a healthier, happier, slimmer direction, but I'm still learning too. So I'd love for you to examine your life and think about where you carry your excess weight, as you hear my words. So let's begin with the face, because the face represents what we show to the world. When I was very overweight, I had a very chubby face. I didn't have the long, thin face I have now. But a chubby face often comes from deep-rooted feelings of self-consciousness. So I'd love for you to begin telling yourself that self-expression is safe. No need to hide anymore or to care what anyone else thinks about you. As my old mentor, Bob Proctor, used to say, what you think about me is none of my business. That stuck with me from the very early days of meeting him. The arms, are you angry at being denied love, perhaps? Perhaps as a child you weren't the favourite. Remind yourself that it's safe to feel love, to give and receive love. In fact, you have all the love you want because you love yourself, not in an egotistical way, but in a way that's supportive, constructive, and nurturing to you. The belly, maybe you were denied nourishment. Perhaps you experienced poverty as a child. I know I did. Not enough to go round, or you weren't allowed certain things, maybe sweets. So as an adult, you've tried to compensate. So release this by allowing yourself to nourish yourself with gratitude for you, to feel satisfied and free to make the choices that you want. The stomach is the storehouse of emotional turmoil. So be prepared to digest some new ideas, release feelings of dread, anxiety about the new, especially the new you, as you take on board all the wonderful learnings from this weekend. Begin to digest life with ease, assimilating with joy each day. Hips, do you have lumps and bumps of stubborn anger toward a certain person? Perhaps you're angry with yourself or maybe your parents, a past or current friendship or relationship. Embrace forgiveness, forgive the past, forgive people who've wronged you, because your heart knows it's safe to go beyond parental, cultural, and even ancestral limitation. The thighs, do you carry weight on your thighs? Are they packed with childhood anger? Many clients tell me, oh, my parents never told me they loved me. And you see that that was a different generation. They were adhering to an era of lack of expression that had been handed down to them. Perhaps they did what they did because it was all they could do with the resources available to them at the time. Forgive now and free yourself forever. These are different times. You know, my kids always say, hi, I love you, bye. You know, it's the language, it's the fashion, but it wasn't many years ago. Shoulders, so forgive yourself now and free yourself forever. The shoulders carry burden, an inability to carry out certain experiences in life joyously. We make life a burden through our attitude. And I love how Earl Nightingale back in the 1950s said, attitude is a magic word. It can make anything happen or not. So choose your attitude wisely. Choose to experience only joyous and loving attitude. Our feet. You may have heard me say a couple of days back, at age 9, my feet were too fat for ballroom dancing shoes. You know, that stayed with me for a long time. But our feet represent our understandings of ourselves, of life, of others. Perhaps you're stuck in a rut. Puffy ankles. People often tell me it's water retention, to which I think, I'm a medicine health consultant. I'm looking at the way the mind is affecting the physical body. Could be problematic kidneys stemming from criticism, disappointment, failure, peed off about something or other, shame they don't take better care of themselves, or maybe the liver not functioning well through chronic complaining, justifying, fault finding rather than seeking a solution. But back to the feet, because the feet is so important. The feet keep us grounded on earth. And many people find it uncomfortable to wear shoes. Chubby feet or chubby lower legs can be painful. But are you stuck in a rut, feeling fearful of the future, instead of stepping forward in life with joy and ease, allowing clarity, safety, security? Take a chance on you, invest time in yourself, and be guided by your heart. Release yourself from thoughts, feelings, and emotions that bind you to the past. Hands. You know, I love it when I receive a message saying, oh, my wedding ring feels loose. I must be losing weight. Yes, because we express ourselves with our hands, you know, giving, touching, stroking, soothing, taking, holding, carrying. Some things we hold on for too long. We can handle ourselves, or we can't seem to handle anything. You know, let's go further here. Hands can be gentle, or they can be hard with knotty knuckles from tension, overthinking, or gnarled with arthritic criticism. Grasping hands come from fear, long-term fear, fear of loss, fear of poverty, fear of never having enough, fear of old age, ill health. FEAR, false evidence, hearing real. So let's relax. Let's make a decision to let life flow with ease. I'd like you to wriggle those shoulders, shake those hands freely, and just allow a feeling of looseness, openness, and a decision to embrace a new future with an open heart about you, about every part of you, your mind, your body, and your soul. So today's hypnotic meditation is, and I can go further about that if that is something that anyone is interested in, reach out to me because it's a topic I'm very passionate about. So today's hypnotic meditation is created to help you to go deep inside your mind, turn the world off for a while and focus on well-being, to deny the evidence of the senses and connect with your divine and higher self. One of the wonderful things about the use of hypnosis in therapy is that it takes only 2 to 3 days to process in the subconscious part of the mind before becoming an effective part of you. And the more hypnosis you do, the more you build on what you've already achieved. A very, very powerful tool for the mind. So, I'd love it if you would like to join me now to relax and enjoy. So make yourself comfortable now, if you will, for safety, enjoyment, and effectiveness. Please stop what you're doing and give me your undivided attention for the next few minutes. Sit down, place your feet firmly on the floor, and allow your hands to rest on your lap. Close your eyes as soon as you feel ready. From now on, as you allow the sounds of my voice to wash over you, you'll notice yourself becoming more and more easily and more deeply relaxed with each easy, gentle breath you take. So take a moment now to focus your attention on the muscles in your face and let them all soften and relax. And then pay attention to your breathing, because if you need to awaken at any time, you will do so refreshed, relaxed, and alert. Allow yourself now to take a few deeper breaths. And as you do so, I'd like you to imagine that you're breathing in peace. And breathe in peace and breathe away all cares and concerns. Breathe in peace. And with each easy out breath, allow yourself to release all and any unwanted thoughts, feelings, and behavior. That's good. And now you can notice warm sensations are entering into your body through your toes. At first, your feet begin to feel very warm and relaxed. Then let that comfort flow through your ankles. Let those warm feelings flow through your legs, releasing any tension in your legs, in your calf muscles, knees, thighs. You may even begin to notice that one leg is feeling slightly more relaxed than the other, but that's fine. That's all part of this beautifully relaxing experience. Now, allow those warm sensations to flow into your body, releasing all tension in your body. Warm sensations filling your stomach, hips, back, as you allow that comfort to flow through your spine. And inch by inch, Muscle group through muscle group, you notice that you can relax every fiber of your being. Those comfortable feelings flowing into every organ, every cell, every nerve. Let those warm feelings release any burdens that may be resting in your shoulders, in your bones. Releasing any tension in your shoulders and your shoulder blades and flowing down through your arms, into your hands, until even the very, very tips of your fingers seem to relax, seem to let go, as you enjoy the opportunity now to continue to go with the flow of my voice, the flow of comfort as you wonder where in your body you feel the most sense of comfort, and the flow of your thoughts as your mind wanders with wonder. And you enjoy this beautiful opportunity of having nothing to do except relax, listen and enjoy and learn something about you. Because you've been waiting very many years to say the last word on this subject. And your last word on this subject is still there, in reserve, spending a lifetime arming yourself with final words. It's like the forest animals who store up nuts and berries for a long winter, or connect every form of leaf, paper, string to structure an elaborate nest as shelter from the winter's cold, or a lurking predator, whether real or imagined. Perhaps there's a distant memory of the words and mother sings to her sleeping child, rocking words of a soothing lullaby, filled with safety, comfort, nurture, and warmth. And you can drift away too on my words, because they're all about you. Recalling the word you really want to say as soon as you get the chance. And chances are, as you drift in that comfortable, trance-like state, you'll recognize some part of you that's only just begun to find its voice. A voice of confidence and belief. Yes, belief in yourself and your ability to invest some time in yourself, to take better care of yourself, and to solve this weight problem once and for all. To exercise your privilege, your right to have the slim, healthy, happy body you desire. And from now on, you can offer yourself large portions of self-confidence, big portions of self-absorption, huge helpings of self-assurance, enormous helpings of self-esteem, expressing the vocal part of you that knows the words to your personal body song. And anyone who gets to know my friend Alison knows she spent 10 years of her childhood taking voice lessons 2 or 3 times a week. And it was irritating at times to give up playing with the other children after school, to walk the mile or 2 a day to the Victorian house where her singing teacher lived. Until one day she decided to make a game of it. wondering as she walked how people in so many different houses lived their lives from day to day. And after a short while, she began to feel that she wasn't having to give up anything, not hanging out with the other kids, doing what they were doing. The game she played was so stimulating and so rewarding. And the results showed up for themselves in next to no time. And so when she finally reached her singing teacher's home, she was completely ready to begin and to take determined action on exercising her voice and learning to manage it and use it and work with it exactly as the amazing musical instrument it was. Not many people even realize the many and varied ways there are to train a voice. But Alison certainly discovered them. 1 large glass of water first thing in the morning. Half portions of only healthy, nutritious food. Listening to hypnosis daily. And exercising vocal cords 3 times, 5 times, 7 times a week. And carefully monitoring herself to nurture herself, to take better care of herself in every way. And gaining in confidence, gaining in self-knowledge, gaining in determination to succeed at achieving the body she'd been dreaming of for years, as she put every bit of her attention and energy into shaping her voice into its richest, sweetest, most glamorous tones. And it wasn't until she looked at herself properly in the mirror one day that she realized that she loved herself enough to do this. Now, about this business of releasing excess weight, you can wait to begin. But haven't you waited long enough? When you reach that fork in the road, you know you're going to make a choice to leave something before you behind and continue on your new path, doing whatever it takes to get you to your destination. And remembering something you've kind of forgotten, that you know now eating is for pleasure. And you've forgotten how to experience the pleasure of feeling hungry, the pleasure of feeling full, the pleasure of being satisfied. The pleasure is saying, no, thank you, no, not for me, no, I've had enough, thank you. No, you eat a lot, but you don't get much pleasure. You can eat less and get more pleasure. You can want less and have more pleasure. You can choose to waste food on your waist or to waste food in the bin. It's your choice, waste or waste. Which will you choose? Waste or waste, which will you choose? You can heighten your metabolism, it's all about you. Feel those warm sensations filling your body. Increased energy spreading from the top of your head and down to the tips of your fingers and the tips of your toes as you enjoy the pleasure, the feeling of less is more. And you don't have to wait any longer to exercise your desire, your right to achieve the slim, healthy, happy body you desire, slim for life with ease you desire. Remembering that time in your life when you just knew how beautiful you are. recognizing that corpus of knowledge you have, and speaking your mind once and for all, the reserve of last words finally voiced, and hearing the beautiful melody of your voice now as you make a decision for yourself. But lets you know now it's your time now to allow. And so, while coming back from that place, returning to this place, I'd like you to reinforce every single positive thought you've ever had about yourself. As hearing me now count from 1 to 10, on the count of 8, you can open your eyes. On the count of 10, you can awaken feeling refreshed, relaxed, and alert, feeling utterly amazing, excited about your future and determined. Yes, very, very determined to protect your unique personality and to achieve the body you deserve. 1, 2, feeling lighter now. 3, 4, feeling brighter now. 5, 6, rising from trance. 7, 8, eyes. 9, 10, wide awake now, feeling absolutely wonderful.
Wow, fabulous, Tina. That was a little bit emotional, if I'm going to be honest.
Oh, good. Good. Thank you for great feedback. I hope everyone else enjoyed it too.
Yeah.
This is not dip your toe in the water. This is hypnotherapy. It's for people who want change. It's for people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's for people who've yo-yoed all their lives. And I yo-yoed for decades. Many, many people have yo-yoed for decades too. But this hypnotherapy works. And that was just a little metaphoric taster that I think will give everybody a little bit of a boost, not knowing who's on the call today, but
Exactly. Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and expertise, because I know you've dedicated so much of your career to helping people release that weight once and for all. And what was it, 100,000 people have been through your Slim for Life program?
and
Give,
some
give or take a few more, you know.
and some now, yeah.
Yeah. And you do give a guarantee of life-changing results, which
Life-changing results guaranteed if you follow the program. But you know what? Most people don't follow the program. Most people will think, I won't bother with that. I'll skip ahead to that. Oh, there's a hypnogastric band. I'll jump straight to that. That's step 6, okay? Which brings me very nicely into the hypnotic gastric band, which I can talk about in a second. But you must do things in the right order. You know, the Slim for Life program, it's slimforlife.co.uk. The Slim for Life program is tried and tested over decades. It offers life-changing results guaranteed. It will work for anyone. It will work for everyone, but you please follow, excuse me, please follow the steps. You know, I say at the beginning, imagine I'm your personal therapist. Imagine I'm working one-to-one with you. And I say that in the introduction. And I say to people, did you watch the introduction? Oh, no, I forgot. No, do it as it's planned out, because it absolutely works when you do, you know.
absolutely.
So yeah.
And
And
the
if
great
anyone has any questions, reach out to myself or Jean, you know, because we love talking about this stuff, as you probably
absolutely.
gather.
You know, and the great thing about the groups that we've been doing this year is the results that they're achieving, but also they can't skip ahead the steps because it's live and online. And some of our clients have got phenomenal results, such as sugar addiction. Obviously, I'm not mentioning names. Sugar
Yeah.
addiction gone in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Wasn't the aim of what we were doing, but it happened. You
Yep.
know, one went
Yep.
from drinking multiple bottles of wine a night to having 2 glasses.
Yep.
Wasn't the aim of what we were doing, but it happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's powerful.
The that particular sugar addiction person that you're
Mhm.
mentioning there actually wrote to me and said that in the 4 weeks she released 20 pounds.
Get away.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll
yeah.
have to get her a wave, obviously. I know she's watching and she knows. So
Uh,
yes.
she actually wrote to me, sometimes we can't share everything because we've got to keep it confidential
Yeah.
sometimes for some people. I love it. That's why I love the Facebook group, the Slim for Life Facebook group, because people do promote on there what they're struggling with and how they're overcoming it and support each other. But yes, this particular person actually wrote to me and said that she lost 20 pounds. There's somebody else who I expect is watching, but I'm going to mention this story because I want her to know how proud I am of her. I expect she's watching, or she'll probably watch the replay. But someone who I'm going to say had an ice cream addiction,
Yeah.
because she used to buy the big 2 litre tubs, split them into 4 pots and put them in her freezer. And she told me that she would, on the whole, have 8 to 10 of these big 2 litre pots in her freezer of ice cream. And she was just eating it late at night, when I caught up with her last Wednesday, she said she hadn't had any. At the royal coronation, she had a little bit of meringue and a few strawberries with natural yogurt on the side, and her grandchildren were saying, "Grandma, why are you not having ice cream?" And she said it's because they're so used to me eating so much of the ice cream, but she's literally not had any. There are so many success stories
Well
that,
done, well done. Obviously, I know exactly who you're speaking
yeah,
of, and she knows that we're
yeah,
speaking directly to her. That is phenomenal.
yeah.
So let's just make a brief left turn into the hypnotic gastric band, shall we?
Yeah, many people report that their taste buds change, that
Mhm,
things become too sweet,
mhm,
things that I asked. In fact, I'm going to talk about this on Thursday at the live stream
mhm.
inside the Facebook group, about how people's shopping baskets have changed. Because
Yeah,
with Slim for Life, I'm saying with Slim for Life because this has been tried and tested,
yeah,
whereas our collaborations, we're both bringing our different expertise, so we haven't got the statistics and such. But the average Slim for Life participant saves £25 per week on the shopping bill. And I wonder how much those tubs of ice cream cost, by the way. But the average person saves £25 per week on their shopping bill. And of course, this is for the rest of your life. That is simply by not going up certain aisles. And in many cases, it's £25 per adult in the household. Because you're not buying the takeaways, you're not buying the volume of food, you're just not buying expensive rubbish, because rubbish is expensive.
yeah.
And really, what does it taste of? But that's a topic for another day.
Mhm, mhm.
So yeah, our hypnotic gastric band is, well, people kept asking, didn't they? What are you going to do next? We did Ditch the Diet together, which was highly successful. We did drop a dress size, which I'm going to say everyone has found their clothes looser. Also, from drop a dress size, there are people who have gone from walking less than 1,000 steps per day
Mhm.
to 7,000.
Yeah.
Many people, and some people have written to me saying, "Oh, I did 5 miles today. Oh, guess what? I did 7 miles today." That isn't crucial to release the excess weight. A bit of movement is. I'll talk about that another time. But you can walk from your kitchen to your living room, back to your kitchen to your living room. You can walk up and down for 10 minutes. There are people doing that who aren't steady on their feet
Yep.
to go outside, but they are still making progress with releasing their weight. Yeah, many people report
All in a matter of
huge.
3, 4, 5 weeks. Massive
Yeah.
shifts. Yeah.
Yeah. So, people were asking, then we've been doing, it's coming to an end next week, I think. Summer Body Ready has been our latest collaboration. I was toying with the idea of having the summer off because we were doing this on Sundays. But then Sean came up with the idea of presenting Hypnotic Gastric Band, but the full program, not just the part that is in Slim for Life, not just the part that you can buy on a CD anywhere, which just does the actual operation, but breaking emotional connections with food, diminishing your appetite, going through the whole process of the consultation and the reasons as to why you're having the hypnotic gastric band.
Yep.
Of course, the operation itself that helps you to believe that your stomach is only this size, so you can only eat and drink what will fit into this size. But boosting your metabolism so that you burn fat faster, developing a different, more appropriate for the slimmer you've decided to become body image and body confidence that goes along with that.
Yeah.
Have I missed something?
No, and I am so excited about the amount that is in this because, like you say, you can buy that CD or that audio download. And I've been speaking to people that have, went to hypnotherapist and paid 200-300 euro for one hypnotic gastric band session. And that's purely what it is. It's the surgery side of it. And yes, they've got some form of results. And they have to listen to an audio for 3 months, and I'm going, but our clients have got this in 4 weeks. And so then you and I brainstormed and we came up with, we need to give the whole experience here, but not just the whole experience, like you say, diminished appetite, breaking those emotional bonds, increasing that self-confidence, as well as constantly reinforcing that hypnotic gastric band. And believe me, I am nosy enough to trail the internet to try and find something else, someone else that is doing this type of a program, and I have yet to find it. And I know everybody wants, people would ring me to book me for the hypnotic gastric band, and I try to explain, I can't give you one session, I need to work on A, B, and C as well. But there is other people out there that will go, yeah, that's £300, please, thank you, see you later, that's 45 minutes, done and dusted. We're given, we are given a 4-week live and online program that is the live aspects of the hypnotherapy, additional audios to support you on your journey long after maybe those 4 weeks with us. It's not just here's a 45-minute session once a week. It's like we're giving full-on presentations. We're explaining everything before, during, and after. And you have the support of people that are already signed up or in the Slim for Life program with our online Facebook community. I am so excited. I know we've been working on our sessions, our scripts, the work that we've put into this. Phenomenal. I really just can't. It's going to help so many people, and
it's really, really exciting. It's a really exciting program. It's going to be on a Monday, not Sundays. There will be limited time replay. We did actually have a suggestion. We were going to make 4 virtual spiritual summit attendees that we were going to make a special offer. Are we doing that?
Sure. What offer would you like to give them, and I will get that set up?
Having said this, we are filling up fast. Okay, I before I came on, I hadn't even checked whether we have any space left. If it's something that you would like to do, if you would like to join us for 4 weeks of hypnotic gastric band, I had planned that we would give a 10%. It's already an amazing bargain.
Yeah.
It's an amazing bargain already, but I had thought that we would give 10% off to attendees of Virtual Spiritual Summit. Just really as a thank you, because you know there's a wonderful energy about this event this weekend. We're virtual, we're live and online, but can you feel the energy? I've
Yeah.
felt it since you started yesterday. And this is because people are following, people are joining in, people are contributing their attention and their energy to help us to deliver some great materials. So I'd like to give 10% back. I don't know how
Yeah.
we're going to do.
Yeah, I can adjust the price and get it sent out. We're doing that just for a limited time until say noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is
Oh
that-
yeah, limited time only. I think till noon tomorrow would be really good. People can sign up this evening or tomorrow. But bear in mind, folks, if this is something you would like to join us for, get your act together because we are filling up fast. I didn't realize how popular this would be. A
Yeah.
lot of people who've already done our other collaborations, Stitch
Yeah.
the Diet, Drop a Dress Size, Summer Body Ready, are signed into Hypnotic Gastric Band. But while there are spaces left, yeah, please join us.
Exactly. You
The
know,
more the merrier, because this energy that we're creating, we're co-creating, you know, together. And it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
exactly. You know, and we wanted to keep these things pretty inexpensive, which is what they are. You know, I've seen audio programs priced higher than what we're doing for actual live. And the thing with joining us live, it's as close to working with us one-on-one as possible. We don't just get in, get your hypnosis done, and see you later. We'll have a conversation with the group. Where are you struggling with releasing weight? What are the foods that are issues for you? And we add those into our scripts. So it's not just generalized things. We've wrote out what we've wrote out, but we also adapt them live in the moment as well, you know, and yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal. Told you it would, didn't it?
You did. You absolutely did say it was going to be phenomenal. But yeah, I think that's really important that we do tweak the trances as we deliver them. We do fine tune them. You know, we will ask you, you know, what are you struggling with? Ice cream.
Yeah.
That's how the ice cream fan that I mentioned earlier was able to.
Yeah, it was from our groups.
We tailor it. We tailor it to help.
Exactly, and that's why we don't do just general, because there's that lady in particular that if we were to just read off a script and assuming that everyone that carries weight eats sweets, I have a client that I'm working with and it's the salty things that she goes for. So effectively the sweetness, the ice cream wouldn't really work with her. So that's why we like to give that, you know, personalized part with it as well. So I will send that out in an email very, very soon. Tina and myself are jumping on another Zoom for our Summer Body Ready group very, very soon. Tina, have you anything you would like to say, or are we ready to rock and roll?
Well, I'd just like to say thank you to you, Sean, for a phenomenal event. Thank you and congratulations on putting together this wonderful group of great speakers on varying topics, and you know, something here for everyone. I can't wait. I haven't had time to watch it all yet. I can't wait to catch up on the replays. So big thanks to you, Sean, but also thank you to everyone who's joined us. You know, without you, you know, we can have a chat about weight loss or hypnosis or anything anytime, and we do, don't we, Sean? But it's the audience, it's you lovely people bringing your lovely energy to the event that makes it an event. So I just want to say, as I began earlier with my presentation, thank you for loving yourself enough to do this and loving yourself enough to invest some time in yourself, because you deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tina, and I will see you in 48 minutes.
Bye for now. Bye.
So guys, what another amazing session from the whole entire day. I'm just, if anyone watching right here, right now, wants to grab a spot on Hypnotic Gastric Band, message me on Facebook or email me right away, because I am jumping on a call very, very soon, a group session very soon. So get on that. I want to thank each and every one of my speakers, Amanda, Tina, Marie, Penny, Maura, Trace, Tina again. It has been a phenomenal weekend. And I do this to just provide as much things as I can for you guys. Not once have I told you to go buy my book or book a reading with me. Go buy my book though. Go do that on Amazon. Remember? This is all to just show you guys that there is those tools for you out there to help you live that happy, healthy and wealthy life. And yes, for those that are asking, there will be another virtual spiritual summit towards the end of the year. Let me get this one out of my system first of all. Thank you all so much for allowing me to do what I do, to live my purpose and just share the things that I know with the fabulous people that I know. It has been an absolute amazing weekend. I think so anyway, and if you didn't like it, well, no, that's on you. And if you're wanting to be a speaker or a sponsor at the next summit, reach out and let me know, guys. Have a good rest of your Sunday, whatever it is that you're getting up to.